Good. Well, I was going to say good morning. It's not good morning. It's good evening. Hello. We'll get set here. Hi. Okay. Deep breaths, right? Deep breaths. Oh, I need my water. I'm here. I'm here. Sammy, will you grab my water? Where is it? It's that white Stanley in there somewhere. Hello, friends. Hi. Hi. Actually, maybe I should put this little guy behind me. Thank you. Thank you. What?
I'm gonna say hi.
Oh, you want to say hi? Okay. All right. Come say. You're good. You're good. Hello. There's Sam. Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you, buddy. All right. See ya. We'll put that little guy, that little squirrel.
Do you need anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you. All right, guys. Hi. Hello. Oh. Okay. We're good. Thank you, sweetie.
What's your phone at?
What's my phone at?
Do you need to plug it in?
Thank you. I will. I'll rotate it.
I'm just.
Well, I plug it in when I rotate it because it would get stuck. Okay. Hi, guys.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. So yes, hello. Well, if you don't know Sam, you do now. Many of you feel like you know him because, I think I forgot to do the trick to make sure I don't have any lipstick on my teeth. Anyhow, I'll do that too. Anyhow, some of you got to know him at the beginning of the pandemic, almost 5 years ago, March, 5 years ago. And it was just like that, where he'd be like, Mom, okay, hold on. Now, don't forget, when you rotate the camera, you got to make sure it's plugged in. Are you plugged in? Is everything good? Because, he was learning, I was learning, and anyhow, when I say he was learning, he was stuck at home, right? Because he had to come home from college, and everyone was stuck at home. So a lot of you feel like you know him because he was in here, and, he was being his teenage, I guess he was 19 at the time. Anyhow, we just had a lot of fun. So he did want to say hi, so that was fun. All right, guys, hello. Let's check out the chat. Hello, Tabitha. Yes, Tuesday night listing. Hi, Tracy. Jackie, hello. Carrie. Cindy Hollenbeck, hello. Jackie. Jackie's in Chicago. Canceled school today, -25 wind chill. That's like even unfathomable, right? That's just crazy. That is way too cold. I agree, Carrie. That's way too cold. Carrie said her background on her computer at work today was an adorable squirrel, and I thought of you all. Yes, a number of you were mentioning Happy Squirrel Appreciation Day. Yes, it is. It's a thing, and it's not a thing that, it's not a my thing. It's I don't know, a world thing. I don't know if it's a world thing or a U.S. thing or whatever, but there really is a Squirrel Appreciation Day. And it's funny, I did not schedule this tonight because it was Squirrel Appreciation Day. I'm out of town on Saturday. And we have tomorrow night is What's New Wednesday, and then I leave Thursday morning. And I try not to do things Monday nights because sometimes I just need like a regroup. So anyhow, it just worked out that it was tonight, so that's fun. We'll talk about squirrels as we kind of get going. But yes, Happy Squirrel Appreciation Day. Karen is freezing cold in snowy. Yes, I won't even say that. I won't even say it. In Texas somewhere, which is very unusual for Texas. Right, so stay warm, you guys. Wherever you are, stay warm. New Orleans, 11 inches. That is crazy. Amy, hello. Guys, Amy is joining us again this evening. If you don't know Amy, Amy and I work very closely together. She is the Robin to my Batman, and always fun to have her here. But as I am working with things, as I'm working with the product, she will put the link to that product in the chat. So if you see something and you're like, ooh, what is that? I want to buy it, or I want to learn a little bit more about it, or whatever it is, she will be popping those links in the chat. If you're not watching live, that's okay, because in the description box of the video, there is a link to a page that tells you what I'm using. It has all those things there. Amy just in the chat makes it a little bit easier, right? She's an enabler. We like enablers. Hi, Elizabeth, and welcome, Amy. Hello. Julie Hamby, hello from Atlanta. Cindy from windy Southern California. Karen Perkins, not much snow, but yeah, that's like polar vortex again. Like I think I read. Oh, I know I did because I put it in my notes in the news for January that there's only two two of the lower 48 states, so meaning not Alaska and not Hawaii. Only two right now that are like have normal temperatures. Every other state in the US, so 46 out of 50 having like crazy cold. So just, stay warm and be careful. Stay warm and be careful. Hello, Deborah. Warm and sunny. I'm going to be in warm and sunny California this weekend. Hopefully warm, right? Hopefully sunny. Hopefully both. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Debbie Haynes. Midday in Sydney, Australia. It is a beautiful sunny 86 degrees. Oh my gosh, Debbie. I don't know about the other ladies here, but I just wish I was with you. I mean, that just would be just heavenly right now. It's very cold here in Utah as well. Just, crazy. Fun to have you here, Debbie. Always fun to have all of you, but always fun we get people from all over the world, for sure. Hello, Elizabeth from sunny Melbourne. Oh, look it. So this is what is fun when we do a weeknight listing session, is that there are people that in a lot of cases are never joining us during our normal lives on Saturdays because it's the middle of the night for them. So it's always fun to switch things up a little bit and do a weeknight, because then we have people that can watch live that in a lot of cases can't watch live. So welcome to you guys. Carol from snowy central Canada. Jeanette is 67 on the California coast. As long as the sun is shining, I'm good. Oh, California coast sounds lovely. Hello, Belinda. Hello, Lori, Southern California. Veronica from blustery, windy Edmonton, Alberta. Sherry from frozen Pittsburgh. Oh gosh, you guys, right? Oh my goodness. All right. Marta is here. Nancy is here, -2, Illinois. You guys are not going to like one of the things on my list. It's going to be funny, but it's going to sound really odd that I say this time of year. Elizabeth. Oh yes. Okay, there we go. Hi, Gracie. Nancy is from Frio, Kansas. Nancy Yoakum. Hello, Nancy. Justine. I probably said, I don't know. When I get like halfway through the names, then I'm like, I don't remember if I've said it or not. So we'll just pretend. Deborah, yes, boys and their moms. And you know that well, don't you? You do. Anita said hello. She's happy to be here live. Center Street Studio. Hello. Nancy Stone. Yes, I was the star of the show and Sam, my producer and cameraman. And that's when we were figuring out how to rotate the camera. I mean, that was 5 years ago. We didn't have a clue what we were doing, but you know what? We were all in the same boat and just happy to be like talking to people outside of our house, right? That we were kind of locked in with. Melissa is Chile, Ontario, Canada, -16. Gerda from Texas, cold Texas. She said, let's have some fun tonight. I agree. Hi, Karen. Fun to see you. Karen, I saw something. I must have seen one of your Facebook posts the other day. Your daughter's birthday or something, and you guys were at Disneyland. Well, I know you spent a lot of time there, but I just thought you guys all looked so happy, and I should have typed that, but I thought it, and now that you're here, I can say, oh, I love it. I saw you. Hello, Gloria Lozano. Glow Laws. There we go. Like it. I like it. Hi, Mari from freezing Minnesota. Your cardinal came again today. I love that. When we were listing on Saturday, one of the lists that we did, we were talking about glimmers. And if you're not familiar with that term, it's something that you're seeing pop up just all over the place. It's basically the opposite of a trigger. So something that when you experience a glimmer, just something small, maybe in a little everyday moment that you're like, oh, that's so sweet. And Mari had shared with us that she had seen, I think, a cardinal like 3 days in a row. So just an example of a glimmer. It was very fun. I definitely enjoyed rating some of your glimmers that you guys had posted in comments on the video. So thank you for that. All kinds of different things. I mean, and it just was really neat to read just that different people experience different things, right? And just sometimes it literally could be that you got to press the snooze button for 1 more minute. Or for me, if I have an alarm, normally I just wake up really early, so I don't have an alarm. But when you have an alarm, for me, a glimmer would be when you wake up like 10 minutes before the alarm goes off. You're like, oh, I love that. Anyhow, lots of different glimmers, but loved that. And I'm so happy that your cardinal is back. Robin, hello. Stephanie Hackney, hello. Snowy Central Texas. It's windy in Southern California. Hi, Wanda, Tennessee. Christy Amber, hello. It's snowing in North Florida, which is crazy, right? It's everywhere. It is just everywhere. Bizarre, bizarre. Did it 49? Heather, 49 in Gilbert. That is cold, right? In Gilbert, Arizona, that's cold. You guys have a freeze alert. See? Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Oh, perfect. If you are like Glimmer, what's a Glimmer? Amy just popped a link to an article that I found in December when we started talking about glimmers and did our first glimmer list. But I encourage you to read it because it is, I think it's a very powerful thing that you can very easily incorporate into your life. Super easy. It's just kind of thinking about it and then watching for them, and then more appear. And we'll be listing about them throughout the year. So, hi Shay, hello. Glow, you got your package. So Glow, is that you where it said it was something weird happened with UPS? Was that, I think that was you maybe. I don't know. Lots of emails, lots of things. Okay, friends, welcome. If you are new here, welcome to you. My name is Lael Kankar, and I have a business called Lael by Mail. Normally I say when I'm not traveling, we're here together on Saturdays. But I am traveling this Saturday, so we're not together on Saturday, so we're here this evening. We are doing what I like to call creative listing. So I published a couple of list topics on Thursday normally. On Sunday, sent out an email. Today posted in the Facebook group, Facebook page, Instagram, links to those topics. So when we get together, we play and we have fun and we craft and we laugh and sometimes we cry, but it's not a bad cry, it's a good cry. We share, you guys check in on each other in the chat. But we're basically taking those list topics and we are documenting, we are telling a story. I think most of you, if you are listing with me, you are telling your story because you're writing a list about yourself. You're really creating these little mini time capsules. And depending on how long you've been with me, I think Mimi tells me since the beginning, and I think Mimi, if you said you've done every list, when you think about, like, at least for me, when we started in 2020, March 2020, through now, actually through the end of 2024, we had done over 500 lists, which is crazy. We average about 100 lists a year. And what that is all me telling my story, right? So I have these amazing lists that people in my family can look at to learn a little bit more about me, friends, maybe family members down the road, like grandkids and things like that. So it's just kind of a really fun way to tell your story in a really easy but fun way, right? No one's Ernest Hemingway except Ernest Hemingway. There's a lot of pressure to feel like you have to be Ernest Hemingway if you're writing. But what we do is we just make a list. And making a list is super easy, right? It's easy, it's approachable. It's what most of us, if not every single one of us, have at least done once in our life, right? Make some kind of list. So we're all accustomed to making a list. And we don't feel pressure about making a list, right? We know how to do that. We just start making a list. So that is what we're going to do tonight. If you're live, welcome to you. There is a live chat that takes place. If you want to pop in and say hello, I would love you to do that so we all know you're here. If you are watching the replay, welcome to you as well. You never know. Sometimes people come on live and they put in the chat, oh gosh, I'm late. Are we still live or is this a replay? Like, that's the beauty about live streaming. You just don't know if it's live or not, which is kind of awesome because it just feels like you're there, whether you're watching tonight, January 21st, 2025, or maybe you're watching, Tuesday, October 5th. I don't know if that's really the date, in 2028, right? So we're just all here and we're playing and we're having fun. We have a couple giveaways. We will do 2 live giveaways tonight, and we'll also do one after party prize. So let's talk about the after party prizes because I have one to give away from Saturday. When we are together listing, I've started maybe the last 6 months doing some prizes while we're live as well. When we do the live prizes, those take place in the chat. So at some point I will say, hey, I'm going to do a live prize shortly. And then the way that I pick the prize or who wins the prize is I'm just doing whatever and I stop. And then my finger, I just roll it up the chat and wherever my finger stops, that's the person that wins. So super random. But those take place in the chat. And then the after party prizes are prizes that take place after the party, right? If this is the party, they take place after the party. And that way anyone can participate that's watching. So you just leave a comment on the video when the video is over. So in the regular, how you comment on YouTube, not in the chat. And right before we start, the next time we're listing, then I do the same thing. I sort by most recent, and my finger just goes, and wherever it stops, that's the person that wins. So we did, I think, 4 different prize. We were together for a long time on Saturday. It was 6 hours, and I had the most fun. I can't even tell you. That's why I didn't stop. I just kept going. I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have anything that I had to do that day, so that's what we did. And I kept feeling like, well, maybe we should do another prize. Maybe we should do another prize. So we did some live prizes, and then we also did an after party prize on in the comments of the video when it was over. And I, for the life of me, I wrote a whole bunch of things down. I couldn't figure out what the heck that prize was, so I just said, you know what? It's easy. It's going to be a $20 coupon code to buy whatever you want. Buy whatever you want or towards whatever you want on the website. So I drew that lucky winner right before we started, and that was Jennifer Begay 5419. So Jennifer, congratulations. I sent you, or I replied to your comment letting you know to reach out to me and let me know that you won that prize, and we will send you your coupon code to shop. Okay, friends, so yeah, lots going on. Lots going on. I will tell you, well, we talked about on Saturday. I like my whole head, my body is bouncing around like I'm in a pinball machine. I keep moving and moving and moving from ordering new product, from finalizing the last set of designs for the next season pass kit, which is spring summer. I have a new designer that I am working with, and on that we have just I'm looking at the final proof. Amy, I haven't sent it to you yet. Wait till you see it. Of our first set of themed traveler's notebooks. Themed traveler's notebook inserts, and it's for travel. And then we have 4 or 5 more planned. So working on that. And then of course the idea book. The idea book releases in March, our 5-year anniversary, that 3rd weekend in March. So many things bouncing around and getting ready for classes next week since I'm going to be out of town. So things get a little bit scattered. Scattered. Yeah, that's the name of our little mascot. All right, friends. So let's just talk about the schedule very quickly. I sent out an updated schedule in the email that went out on Sunday. It's also posted. There's a blog post at lailbymail.com. It's posted and pinned to the Lail by Mail Facebook group and the Lail by Mail Facebook page. All of that to say, if you don't want to have to worry about whenever we're listing, easiest thing too is thumbs up here, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell here on YouTube, and then that way you are notified when something is going to happen. So that makes it a little bit easier if you would rather receive the information that way. Anyhow, as far as our schedule goes, it is totally mixed up for the month of, well, now for the next 5 weeks. So I'm just going to show it up here, but again, I've linked to it in the description box of the video as well. All right, do you see that? I don't think that's backwards, but it looks backwards here, but I think it's okay. So January, today, we are not listing this weekend because I am out of town traveling. So next, that was the 18th. Here we go. Tuesday, we're listing again next Wednesday night. All right. February is all over the board. I had to basically trash February and start all over. So a Saturday, a Wednesday, and a Tuesday. And then March, as of now, we are on for everybody. Amy, you're the best. You're the bestest. I should have thought about that. Amy just included the link in the description box of the video. Yes, thank you, Amy. Anyhow, so just so you know, if you're thinking you're looking forward to a Saturday, I don't want you to be sitting here going, where is everybody? Robin, I just saw Robin's in Rigby, 7 degrees, Rigby, Idaho. Oh, goodness. Carol asked when the travel themed inserts will be released. Probably that 3rd week in March. Barring any issues, the inserts, the new travel themed inserts will go to the printer. Maybe Friday, I don't know. We'll see, or it could be next Monday. But then they have to order the paper, then they have to print and cut and bind and stick, package, all of that. So this is the first time that we have done inserts here in the US. And the themed ones make a lot of sense to do in the US because I don't have to order 1,012. You really don't have to order that many with China, but you have to order thousands and thousands with China. So I'm okay ordering thousands and thousands of the line and the blank and the dot grid, but when it comes to themed, I don't necessarily want to be trying to hawk travel themed traveler's notebook inserts when I'm 90 years old in assisted living, right? But it's good because some things, when we can, if we can make manufacture produce things in the US, and those are produced here in Utah. So same printer that does my idea book. So it's kind of fun to do that. And then more coming, but we gotta try to, there's so many things coming in March. It's like, we better string some of those out, right? For you guys and for me, or us, I should say. Lily and Denise will like wring my neck. They're Lily and Denise, the dynamic duo shipping team. So, all right. Anyhow, oh, Stephanie, that's amazing. Now, Stephanie, do you have an Apple phone? Or do you have an Android? She said, a tip to share. I found that when I click on the listing dates in Lael's emails, my phone prompts me to add it to my calendar. So cool. That's really cool. That is really cool. Melissa, you can't wait to see the travel themed ones. Might work for your trip to Africa. Melissa, I bet it will. I bet they will because, well, you just guys, you're gonna have to wait. You're just gonna have to wait and see. You're gonna have to wait and see. All right. Yes. Yay for travel inserts. Very, very excited. Deborah said she missed themed inserts. So I talked about it a little bit on Saturday, but there's so many amazing things coming. We have 3 new product designers that we are working with, which is very exciting because I am not a product designer. I mean, stamps I can do. I'm like, oh yes, I know exactly what we need. But when it comes to paper collections, and there will be mini paper collections coming and all different kinds of fun things. So just so many things to look forward to. Just, Okay. All right, friends. Oh, look at Beverly Roberts is here watching from down under. She is from Sydney. I love it. We've got a number of folks, ladies from down under. Love it. Okay, friends. And Stephanie did say it's an iPhone, so she was able to somehow click on that and it prompted her to put the dates in the calendar, which is really cool. I need to look into that for myself. All right, let's stop the talk. All right, we know when we're listing again and when we're not. Amy put the link in and you can find it, in all the socials. What else? Two classes coming next week. So, and we'll kind of wrap with this and then do our playing. 2 classes scheduled for next week. Tuesday is the February Traveler's Notebook setup for Season Pass. So if you purchase Season Pass and you are using it to set up your Traveler's Notebook, class is Tuesday. That email went out today. And then next Thursday. So those dates are the 28th and the 30th. January 30th is the class for the year in review. And kits still available on both of those. And those classes, are recorded after they're live, so you can watch it anytime. So I think we're pretty much ready to roll. Let me turn off overhead lights, flip the camera, and then we'll really be ready to roll. Now that I have my water, Sam brought my water. Okay. All right. Rotate. Oh, I knew it. Okay, hang on. I know what just happened there. Sorry about that. Somehow, I asked Nick to get my lights out, and I think he did something a little odd as he was getting all of the things out because everything was kind of backwards and turned around, and yeah. Anyhow, it's all good. Not complaining. Kelly's Creative Dreams. Have the kits shipped for 2025 year in review? They have-ish. Depends on when you ordered. All of the pre-orders have gone out, and as of today, I believe that they are working on, I think today they got through all the orders from the maybe 15th, but don't hold me to that. They're working extra long hours because there are so many orders. They will have all orders shipped by end of day Friday. So we should be good there. But Kelly, if you want to shoot me an email, I'd be more than happy to take a look for you and let you know tomorrow if yours is shipped yet. A couple of people. Okay, Kelly. So if you ordered on the 15th, then yours probably won't ship. I don't know. Sometime in the next couple of days. Let's say that. But if you want to shoot me an email, I'm more than happy to check for you. Yes, and we do so appreciate them. They are wonderful. They are wonderful. Friends, if you haven't already given it a thumbs up, if you would, that would be so lovely. That would be lovely. Yes, Kelly, she said, hi, Amy, have you recovered from your birthday celebration? Saturday, Amy was celebrating her birthday and we missed her. I mean, you know, we always miss her. But I did let her know there were quite a few people wishing her happy birthday on Saturday, which is so sweet of you. Yes, and I did just plug my phone in. Thank you, Kelly, for the reminder. All right, friends. So, where's the insert? That is important. Oh goodness. Oh, here it is. Is this it? Please tell me that's it. Oh, it is. Oh, good. All right. So let's take a look at the lists that we did on Saturday. We did 4 lists, but we also did a lot of show and tell because we looked at the January stamp release and the new dies and the new pouches, and yeah, so we were busy. That is from 2020. That is one of my inserts from 2020. That is not going to help us. Okay, here we go. This one is all deconstructed. This one is all deconstructed because Amy had it for photography for the idea book. This one, Amy, will you link that one? That is Scattered Thoughts. You guys, this was the very first Lail by Mail stamp set. The very first one. So I'm going to use it for one of my lists today. All right. So on Saturday, we did, let me just look at my little handy dandy notebook here. We did focus, we did looking forward to this year, and we did trends. So looking forward to this year. This list is a list that we have done, or I have done, I think for the last maybe 4 years. I think the very first time we did this was starting with 2021 because we were hoping there was a lot to look forward to, right? Because we were still smack dab in the pandemic. We were hoping that we had lots of things to look forward to. So this is something we do every year. This is one of those lists. So when people say to me, I want to start listing, but I really don't know where to start, where should I start? This is a list that I suggest. Looking forward to this year, or looking forward to this month, or looking forward to this winter. This winter is one that we're going to do this evening. So that's a really easy list to start with. Even if you're jumping in the middle of the year, start with something that you're looking forward to. So with this guy, we used the Front Porch collection from Simple Stories. So we'll actually be starting something with Front Porch again tonight. Just kind of a little intro to the new Traveler's Notebook insert that I started. All right, so that was looking forward to this year. We did Glimmers. So we did Glimmers. Glimmers, that's the second time we've done a Glimmers list. And with Glimmers, we used the brand new Glimmers stamp set. That was part of the January 2025 release. So super cute. And I paired that with a 6x8 paper from the new Toddler Time collection from 49 Market. What the heck is going on? Hold on, friends. I've got something really bizarre happening here. So let me we're going to end up seeing some parts of things that we don't really need to see, like the base of my camera, but that's okay. Anyhow, all right. Some of you remember that list during the pandemic, don't you? I know, things I was looking forward to because we were like grasping at straws, anything. All right, so that was our second list. Then we did a trends list. So we've done a trends list for the last couple of years. Had a lot of fun with this one. This one we used the brand new. We used the brand new library pocket die. We used the brand new library card die, and then we used the library card stamp. We're going to use those again for a really quick thing tonight to kind of kick us off. But with this, I created that pocket, stamped the library card, and then made my list on the library card. And those were our 2024 trends. So that was kind of a fun list to do every year because that's a great one to look back on, right? Again, it's a time capsule. It's a time capsule, so you can look back and go, oh my gosh, do you remember in 2024 when like everyone was talking about the Menendez brothers? That was a trend in 2024. And we used Vicky's Bold and Bright for that list. All right, so the last one that we did actually took us into a brand new insert. And this is another one that we have done, I want to say maybe the last 4 years. The beginning of a year, but not on January 1st. That is not something that I find motivates me. I feel a lot of pressure that you have to do new resolutions on January 1st. And so I usually like to let things kind of sit a little bit. Some people do a one little word, not one little word. Oh my gosh, I can't, what is it, one little word? I don't remember what it's called. I totally just lost it. But sometimes you just need things to kind of bubble and ruminate and kind of just, until something hits you. And that's how it is with me for the things that I want to focus on. So we've done this list, like I said, probably for the last 4 years. And with this list, I just identified, documented, made a list of the things that I want to focus on for myself for 2025. I used no product on this list. No stickers, no stamps, no stickers, no paper, no die cuts, no washi. I only used stamps and inks. And I think that's a really good kind of example of how you don't have to have all the things. You don't have to buy all the things. You don't have to have everything. If it works in your budget and and it's something that you use and it makes you happy, then if you're going to use the things, then sure, buy it. But you don't have to buy all the things. In this case, I used 2 stamp sets. Actually, I used 3. I used Focus, In the Box, and then Goal Getter. But other than that, all of that is just colored ink. And the colored ink really makes everything pop on that page. One thing I want to show you what happened. Hello, Denise. Nice to see you. Word of the year. Thank you, Heather. Okay. I want to show you something that happened. And this is an example of how, you just make it work. If something goes wrong, you make it work. When we were listing together, I did the whole list, except I hadn't stamped that yet. And so the adventure begins. And I hadn't stamped those 2 little, or those kind of little side, those extra little words and phrases. So on Sunday, I think Sunday morning, I did that. And when I stamped this little phrase, and so the adventure begins, I totally smeared it. And that was the last thing I did on this list. And it took a while to do the masking and the stamping and the different colors. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like it did not look good. I mean, sometimes you're like, well, that's okay. The and you could barely read because I smeared it so horribly. So do you know what I did? I didn't start over. I didn't put a whole piece of paper over that. I went to another one of my inserts that had an extra page or 2 at the end. And I cut out, well, actually, before I cut it out, I re-stamped that phrase on that piece of lined insert, and then I cut it. And look I don't know if you'll even be able to see that. Then I adhered it right over that step. So you can barely see. You can see that little line right there. So mistakes happen, right? Mistakes happen. But if you can, in that case, that was really easy because it's basically just another piece of pattern paper. When I stamped it, not pattern paper, it's the lined insert. I stamped it at the same point where I had stamped this one, so the lines were even and everything, and no one would ever know if I didn't tell you that. So, right, Heather said you can't even tell. So when you're working with stamps, and I think things like this happen a lot with stamps, sometimes you smear something, or sometimes you don't quite get a good impression, or sometimes you drop the ink, or you drop the stamp. And I did that. If you were with me, I don't even know if you can see this. I dropped, very first thing I did, I dropped the stamp block with a stamp on it right there, and it made a big pink blob. And you know what? I just got out my sand eraser and erased, and that's another thing. If I look at it, I can see it, but you know what? No one is ever gonna know. So nobody's perfect, and it's art. And if it looked perfect, then guess what? It would be AI. It would not be us making art and having fun and getting all of all of the good feels that we get out of making art. So, and Heather said she's dropped ink pads before and she put a little oops with an arrow, right? A little Easter egg to remind me I'm not perfect, right? No mistakes in art. Exactly. Denise said no mistakes in art. Veronica said she's going to ask again, how do you store all your traveler's notebooks, binder or baskets? I'm planning for how to store my TNs. So Veronica, I completely had my craft room built out the way that I needed it. So behind me, I have the cabinets and then drawers pull out and they are stored in there. But I will show you some other ones because they're not all in there. This is let's see. Can you see that? That bin is like a refrigerator bin. I think that's what they call it, a refrigerator bin. But that's how I store mine on the shelf. And I probably have 4 or 5 of these where I store some of my traveler's notebooks. And then others I have on a cabinet, I guess, across from me that are just all lined up by color. So I think lots of different ways that you could store those if you want them to be out so you can see them and people can see them. I think a basket is really fun. All right, friends. Okay, so we are ready for our first list. So our first list that we're going, well, actually, we're not going to start out with the list. I said that, didn't I? Sometimes when I start a new traveler's notebook, if I have a single list, Carol, really quick, let me answer you. I would store them the same way. I have them all in the bin, or behind me. But let's see. In fact, here's even a double one. So this will show you. This is one of those double, like double tray, I don't even know, double plastic container thing that has a separator in the middle. So bunch of inserts here. Other traveler's notebooks here. You can see I pulled out a couple of inserts over the weekend. But that's usually how I store my inserts. If it is a traveler's notebook that I want to, that's really never changing, like I have a traveler's notebook that I did in COVID that always lives in the same cover, and that's on my shelf. I have a couple different travel ones. One in particular from our trip when we went to Ireland and Scotland. That one always lives in its traveler's notebook cover and it sits on the shelf. But anything that isn't in a traveler's notebook cover, I store that way or in the roll out shelves behind me. And you guys, I know, guess what? I've said 100 times that I will still at some point do a video of my room and then do a follow-up video on how I store a lot of things because it's a question that we get a lot. Okay, so sometimes when I start a new insert, and that's what we did last week, when I start a new insert, I will just start with a list here. If I have a single page list, I'll start with the list there. Other times I do a little intro page, and sometimes I just leave it blank, and then sometimes I get back to it and sometimes I don't. So it's kind of, I don't necessarily put a lot of pressure on myself to do something here, but this did come up again last week. So I thought I'd show, we kind of do really quick, this is how we do it. This is how we're going to do it. So I pulled out 3 papers from Front Porch, the Simple Stories Front Porch collection. I pulled out this die cut from the collection, and I thought we would make a fun little pocket again. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be the base of my page, and I need to get out my trimmer. That's it. Woohoo! All right, let's go ahead and trim this paper. So those 3 papers all came from the Front Porch 6x8 paper pad. And I am going to trim that to 4 3/4 when I'm working with a 6x8. And I prefer to use 6x8 papers because they don't have to be trimmed from up above. I just have to trim off, 1 1/4. And then I end up with a nice white border all the way around my page. I'm using these are the Leila Mill standard wide inserts. So they are 5 inches wide by 8¼ inches tall. So let's go ahead. Oops, I need my corner rounder. Oh gosh, Nick is making something in the kitchen. That is torture. That is torture because we just started. Friends, we just started. Nick's making something yummy for dinner. I don't know what it is. All right, here we go. Here we go. I gotta get my socks off. I have these little socks that are, oh, Kathy, you have no idea how many. That was maybe a third, if that. Well, you know what? I have been doing, I've been working in Traveler's Notebooks. This might be 2015, 2016 years, okay? 8 to 10 years. So yes, I do have a lot. And I mean, I use them. So I am definitely walk the talk. I definitely walk the talk when we are together and I'm talking about them and manufacturing them and making them and classes with them and projects with them. I just think they are the bee's knees. They make me happy. All right, so there we go. That is the base of our little page. And this little intro, there's a couple things I could do here. If I wanted, I could make a little list to put in the pocket, or I could maybe add a little quote about writing. We've shared a couple different quotes in the past. One is a Jack London quote, which I love. When I first started teaching about Traveler's Notebooks, maybe seven years ago, I found that quote and it's just perfect. So you could put a quote, or I mean, it could just be decorative if you felt like you wanted to have an introductory page. All right, so next up, we are going to make a pocket with the library card, the new library pocket die. So the library pocket die is a two-piece die set. This is for the base of the pocket, and this is the pocket that sits on top of the base. But I will also be doing a library card to go with it. So I will stamp with the library card stamp, and then I will use the library card die to cut that out. All right, so here we go. Those are in the package, and I'm not going to use the in the package ones. I'll use mine that I have used. All right, so I thought what we would do, this is going to be the base of the pocket. And then this will be kind of the pocket itself. And I want something a little bit more neutral for the pocket itself, just so I can kind of decorate that a little bit. Amy is working on a little kind of mini class on some of the different things that you could do with the library card die, and the library pocket die. So watch for that at some point here. We have lots of work to do on the idea book, so we won't put a date as to when that is going to be out in the world, but just know that it's coming. All right, so look at that. If you're using a 6x8, that fits perfectly on the width of the 6, right? So you don't have to lose a bunch of your paper. So this, I should just be able to, well, I don't even need to trim it to 4, right? We could just trim it to, a little bit shy of 4. And I have this whole other piece to use later. So that will be for that guy. That is the pocket base. And then I'm going to use this for the pocket. So I think it's about the same. I think it's about 6s. Square-ish. There are, I believe there are dimensions on the website for each of these products, so you know what size they are. But this is the size of the pocket, and this is an actual size of a real library pocket. And the size of the card is the actual size of a real, true library card. All right, so what we're going to do here, don't mind that I'm just setting these things all here, okay? The library pocket die. Elizabeth, Amy is going to, she's going to check for us. All right, thanks, Amy. Okay, so let's first of all do the base of our pocket. So I'm going to make a sandwich. If you are new to die cutting, I think if you think about making a sandwich, it makes a lot of sense. So when you make a sandwich, and we have to have fun with the sandwich, so let's have this one be, I don't think there's enough layers. Okay, we're gonna do a fluffer nutter. We're gonna add one more thing to it, fluffer nutter. Anybody ever had a fluffer nutter when you were a little kid? So when I was a little kid and my mom would make a fluffer nutter, you have to start with Wonder Bread, right? So you have 2 plates. When you're working with a die machine, you have 2 plates. So think of your 2 plates as your bread. You'd have a piece of bread on the bottom and a piece of bread on the top. So as we start, there is our base plate or our bread. Next up, we have our peanut butter. So if you were having a fluffer nutter, that's your peanut butter. The mat or the magnetic mat is the next layer, is the peanut butter. Then you have the fluffer. So the fluffer, in this case, the paper, is that marshmallow cream stuff. Oh my gosh. I haven't had one of those in probably 40 years. I don't know, but so good. So that is our fluffer, the next layer of our sandwich. And then because we have one more thing that needs to go in the die itself, we're going to say we're going to put bananas, sliced up bananas on there as well. So there is our last layer of our sandwich, the die, or in our little analogy, the bananas. We have our Wonder Bread, we have our peanut butter, our nutter, we have the fluffer, which is the paper, and then we have bananas, top layer, or excuse me, the die. And then we've got our second piece of bread. So there is our sandwich. The machine that I use when I'm filming or when I'm teaching is this little guy, this little Anna Griffin Empress Mini. It is an automated machine, means it's power, right? So I have to do very little work. I turn it on and I put my sandwich through that little front and I hit run. And it will pull all of that through for me. Lots of different die cutting machines on the market. Some are automated like that. Others are manual. Manual, you have to crank it through. They all do the same thing. They all press really hard in the center so that your sandwich is pressing down and eventually cuts through, that metal die cuts through the paper to give you the shape that you're trying to cut. All right, so we pull that little guy off there, put that on my little stand, and there is the base of my pocket. Now, if you're paying attention when you are placing your die, you can use what you have left over, right? Because that's a little frame. We basically just made a frame. And if I was using a photo somewhere, I could put that on top of my photo as a fun little frame. So might as well be able to use something like that. And if we just pay attention to kind of how we're placing it, then we're good. All right, so that is the base of our pocket. Next up, we have this guy. I need to, let me trim this down a little bit more because it is narrower this way. So I want it to be able to go through my machine because it is a smaller machine. All right, so here we go. There is my paper. Here is my die. Face down. Make sure we're good there. There goes the top of my sandwich. And we're gonna push that right through again. Nancy said, always love your Sammy sandwich analogy when putting the die cut plates together. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't really use dies. I mean, I do now that I manufacture my own dies. But I really never had a reason to use dies before because they never really, for me, worked with what I was working on, right? But now that I have dies that go with my products and I use them, then I kind of had to, I mean, it's not hard to figure out how a die cut machine works, but I don't know. If I think of things like in a really easy way to remember, we all know how to make a sandwich. So then it kind of it demystifies how the whole process works, right? With the pocket die is scored for you. So there's no guessing about where you need to fold those little wings. I call these guys little wings. Just those little wings, okay? And that is what you're seeing here on the die. Those are just the little wings that fold in to create your pocket. All right, so last thing we need to do is we need to, that is that piece, right? Let's move that out of the way. We need to stamp and then die cut our library card. Maybe what I'll do, just for the sake of time, the other night, do I still have that here? Let's see. Oh, I do. So the other night, last Wednesday, right before What's New Wednesday, I was working on a couple of different samples to show the new library card die and the library pocket die. And since I had my stamps out, I thought, you know what? I might as well just stamp a bunch of library cards so that when I need them, I have them to work with. So that's what I did. I used the library card stamp to stamp the library card, and then I used the die to cut it out. So there is the stamp, and there is the die. One of the things that we talked about on Saturday, and I will often talk about this when we are getting our stamps out and our inks, and especially if we're getting our die machine out and our dies and so forth, kind of makes sense that if you are getting things out, maybe stamp a couple of cards, or maybe stamp a couple of your, or not cards, maybe die cut a couple of your pockets and things like that, so that next time you want something to use, you kind of have it ready, right? Makes it a little bit, well, you know what happens. If you just want to make one thing and you're like, oh, I don't want to get everything out, then you don't get everything out. But if you already have everything out, why not just make some more things so you have them when you need them? All right, it's like when you go to the store to buy birthday cards. If you buy birthday cards, or if you're making birthday cards, you might as well make, if you're going to make one birthday card, you might as well make 6 of the same one, and then you have them when you need them. All right, so there is the base of our pocket. Oh, Carol, a fluffer nutter. Oh, they were so good. But I don't want to think about that. Amy said, work smarter, not harder, right? Exactly. Work smarter, not harder. Especially if you're like binge watching a show. That kind of stuff is easy to do, right? Do your stamping, do your die cutting. You don't really have to be paying a lot of attention. I mean, a little bit, but you know what I mean. Okay. So there is the base of my pocket, and there is my pocket. There's a couple different things I could do with this. If I wanted, somebody asked about this on Saturday. Oh, here we go. The die has 90-degree corners, so it has squared off corners for a reason. Because you can take a squared off corner and you can round it, but you can't take a round and make it square, right? So that is why the die, this guy too, but this guy for a reason, because the stamp has the square corners. But you can round corners if you'd like on after you do your base. Okay, so then this is my cute little pocket. One of the things I can do with the pocket, this guy, I thought, how was I thinking I wanted to use this? Well, I was thinking I could use it, but now maybe I can't because we're still gonna make it work. All right. Let me grab some 1/2-inch score tape. When it comes to your pocket, a couple things. I recommend that you not use your regular adhesive, because if you're pulling things in and out of that pocket, it's going to be putting a strain on the pocket and the adhesive, so you want something pretty strong. So I'm using just my, 1/2-inch score tape. When I am doing that, there's really 2 ways that you could do this. And I don't think there's a right or wrong way. When I do the pockets, I add my adhesive here, here, and here, and then I adhere it right to the top of the pocket. Another way that you could do it would be to do it this way. Basically, where you have you're sliding the base into the pocket, and then you're doing that. So it doesn't really matter on the front. If you're adhering this to something else, it really doesn't matter. If you're not adhering it to something else, maybe you're making a cute little, I don't know, maybe you're making a cute little card to give to someone or something. I would do it this way so that the back is nice and clean, right? So we're putting our adhesive there, there, and there. That's what I'm going to do. The yellow and the pink together, I know. Isn't it such a pretty collection? It really is. We used it for the first time on Saturday. We're using it again just for a sec tonight. I mean, not a second, but a little bit longer than a second. But we're just going to use it very briefly tonight. Just basically going to get the pocket ready and adhered to my page, and then I'll, decorate it later. But just so we can kind of go through that process. I also have a mini book kit coming with Front Porch, and watch for that kind of towards the end of next week to go up for pre-order. All right, so I have put my double-sided tape on. This to me is a really important part of the process when you're working with double-sided tape. The reason we like to use double-sided tape, sticky tape, score tape, whatever you want to call it, is because it is really strong. We like that about it, right? Once we put it down, it's not going anywhere. But the thing we don't like about it is that it's really strong. And once we put it down, it's not going anywhere. If we put it on crooked, oh well, it's not coming off unless you start tearing paper. So what my friend Joey taught me, it works for Photoplay paper. Only reveal part of the sticky. Keep the protective backer on part of it. And when you're peeling off part of that sticky, make sure the part that you've peeled off sticking out the edges. Those are going to be our little pull tabs that we're going to get it out with once we adhere it. So if only part of it is sticky, that makes it really easy for me to come in here and place it. You would never be able to do this. Look at, I would never be able to do this if all of my sticky had been removed. So that gives me just kind of a little bit of wiggle room to get whatever I am trying to adhere with that score tape down. It's straight, and then I press down on the part that I had already revealed, and then gently pull out that little extra piece. That has saved my bacon so many times I can't even tell you. And then when I think, oh, I'm an expert, I don't really think that. I don't have to do that. I can get that on straight every time. I'm like, seriously? Why didn't I just do that? It just saves you so much time in the long run. Heather, the mini book is 6x8. It is one of the 6x8 simple stories snap binders. Thank you, Kimberly. She said, I have the best mini book project. So many interactive elements. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. All the interactives. All right. So there we go. I decided I was going to use this. So I think I'm going to use this and have this just be kind of a little decorative element on my pocket. And then my library card will just slip right in there. So if I have that, I think it'll work. I don't want to necessarily, I mean, I could even put it there. Ooh, this could be cute. Okay, I'm not going to do this right now, but I will show you what could be really fun. And I wouldn't do this in a traveler's notebook because it'd be too bulky. But what you could do, something like this, with this piece, punch a hole, or even you could punch a hole like in the library card, and if you have some fun ribbon or twine or something that you kind of wanted to tie through a little hole in the top, that would be really fun too. Okay, but let's just go ahead. We've got to do our little outlining here. Because you know me, got to do that. And then let's just do this too, because it will look very odd to me if I don't do that. Alrighty, that little guy will go right in there. And then this one will go right here. And I think I kind of like that right in the center like that. I do, so that's what I'm going to do. I will adhere that just kind of my adhesive along the bottom half. I obviously don't want to close up that pocket, or we just wasted a heck of a lot of time trying to make that pocket and then close it up. So now I can do something fun. Maybe I put a little sticker up here, a little tab sticker that says pull or something like that. And that's where I have my little quote or my list. Or maybe I'm just talking about how much listing means to me, or writing or memory keeping or whatever it is. All right. So I'm going to adhere that. And then I'm going to kind of leave it there for now. I will come back and finish that at a later date, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. But I often get questions about what do you usually do, or do you do anything, number one, I guess. Do you do anything in your opening page? And if so, what do you do? I shared, someone asked that in the Facebook group, maybe last week. And so I shared a couple of ideas of things that I've done in the past on that page using different stamp sets, because there are stamp sets that I designed to help you kind of decorate that first page if you'd like. Mimi, it is first page of a new insert. First page of a new insert. VS Vikage. I use this faithfully for years and years and years. This Sharpie pen, this was also a great conversation in the Facebook group earlier this week. So there are kind of 3 pens that I use for different things, but they're definitely my my ride or dies, I guess. The Sharpie pen, and I have these on the website. It is just a super fine tip felt Sharpie pen. There are also roller balls if you like more of a gel pen. But this I use for everything. Any kind of note taking, if I'm journaling, if I'm doing something in my traveler's notebook insert, if I am working in a mini book, it's always that pen. Unless I'm writing on a slick surface, like a photo, or maybe you'll probably actually see me use this in our first list. If you have paper that has a coating on it, this pen is amazing. It's the Zig Photo Signature pen, and it is meant for writing on slick surfaces like a photo. If you've ever tried to write on a photo, even with like a permanent marker, it writes a little bit and then it just like totally just stops working. It's because those pens aren't meant to write on slick surfaces. That guy is. And then I don't know if my other one, I don't know if it's here. It's more like with my planner. I don't think so. Anyhow, there's another one that I use that's on the website also, that's super fine tip, not a Sharpie, but super, super fine tip. So sometimes if I'm writing in small spaces, I like something really small and fine like that. Table of contents is a great idea on the first page. Absolutely, that would be fun. If you are a bullet journaler, or if you've ever seen people bullet journal, that's usually what is used in the first couple of pages of a bullet journal. It's kind of your table of contents, or your kind of your legend, if you will. So it tells you kind of where to find what you're looking for. Tammy, the year in review class, that is on the 30th of January. So it is Thursday the 30th. If you purchased the kit, an email went out Sunday or Monday. I don't remember which day it was. As with anything, if you're not seeing an email from me, double check your spam folder, because spam or email sometimes doesn't like me and it goes to spam. So there we go. Like I said, I'll do more with that, but that's just kind of a fun idea for a little intro page. Okay, so now we are ready for our first list. For our first list, we are doing a list, things I'm looking forward to this winter. Like I said in the beginning, this is a list that we usually do 6 times a year. We usually do things I'm looking forward to this year. Then we do winter, spring, summer, fall, and then we do Christmas. So we do 6 things I'm looking forward to every year. You could do it every month if you wanted. You could do it, next 6 months. You could decide how you want to do it, but here we usually do it 6 times a year. So we've already done things I'm looking forward to this year, and now we're doing things I'm looking forward to this winter. So what I thought would be fun to do, I am using the winter products from the Season Pass Kit. My winter spring Season Pass Kit. So if you don't know anything about that Season Pass Kit, Amy will pop a link for that into the description box of the video, where you can learn all about it. But basically, it is a kit that gives you an assortment of product for a season. So this first Season Pass, winter and spring, basically has products that work for January, winter. And this is if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. My Australia friends, it's just reversed. But this one would be for winter, January, kind of love Valentine's for February, and then kind of a fun spring one for March. So that is what I'm using, and I have stamps that are part of that Season Pass Kit. I have stickers, word strip stickers that are part of that, and I have paper, pattern paper. So the pattern paper, To make it super usable for a lot of different types of crafts. For each of the seasons, there are two 12 by 12s. So these are the two 12 by 12s. You have double-sided, so fun wintry patterns. You have a 6 by 8 that on one side is made up of 3 by 4 cards, and on the other side it is a 6 by 8 pattern. And then, you guys, I'm one of you. I'm just like you. And when I look at products and when I look at things that I need, well, a lot of times we use 6 by 8 papers, right? We use 6 by 8 papers just like I did on that first page. We used a 6 by 8 paper that I cut down. So when we were looking at having paper printed, a printer can print lots of different sizes. And I said, hey, what if we did an 8.5 by 11 and we did 2 different patterns on the front and 1 different pattern on the back? So in that same piece of paper, you have at least 2 different options. That one is one, that one is one, or that one is another one. Because that's the size that we need. We need to trim it down a little bit because it's a standard 8.5 by 11 to fit our traveler's notebook inserts. Kimberly asked you a great question. She said, did you mention you will be using different artists for each kit? Yes, totally different designs. You would never look at the next one, the spring summer, and think it's not the same. It's not the same at all. So for the first two, winter, spring, and then summer, spring, summer, it's all artwork that's been purchased. And then I have a graphic designer that goes in and we work together on changing the colors and making things bigger or smaller or making new icons that are easy to make or something like that. Starting with the summer, fall, and fall holiday, and then going forward, I have artists now that are creating the entire thing from scratch, which is like so exciting to me because I tell you, when you're trying to find artwork to buy that's already been created and make it work for what you're trying to do, not necessarily the easiest thing. So super, super, super excited about that. Also, I will tell you about the season pass. The design team, there are a couple of members on the design team that are also using it. And so there's lots of inspiration so far for the January part of the kit. So that you will find all in that link that Amy shared. So as we are working, I need to decide what I want to do. If I want to use, there's this kind of fun gold. There's a little bit of gold accent in some of the die cuts because, I mean, winter gets kind of boring. You're like, okay, light blue, blue, like how many different shades of blue can you do? So we pulled kind of in that little bit of goldish and then some blush pink too. So I think I also have 12 by 12s that I can cut from. 12 by 12, same pattern, but smaller size scaled down. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I want to use this pattern. And for what I'm going to do, I am going to cut up my 12 by 12. The reason I'm going to cut up my 12 by 12 is that I want to have a piece here, which I'd be fine using this guy, right? But I would like a little bit of that to kind of bleed over to this side. So I'm going to cut up my 12 by 12. If I wasn't doing that, I would just use, that piece and it'd be great. All right, so let's cut up that 12 by 12. I even have, oh my gosh, I've done a couple projects with it. I set up my traveler's notebook for the month of January. I did a habit tracker with it. I did a 12 by 12 layout with it. And now I'm doing a list with it. So the whole idea behind the season pass is that, let's do it this way so I can use that pattern if I still want. Whole idea behind the season pass is to give you a little bit, ooh, that little guy, blade probably needs to be replaced, is to give you a little bit of 3 different months or 3 different seasons, if you will, so that you can do maybe 3 or 4 projects depending on what you're doing out of just those small pieces in the kit. And then you're ready to move on to the next thing. So it's pretty broad, fewer things but 3 themes as opposed to deep where you've got 28 things in a collection. So that's my thought behind that. All right, so I want this to be 4 3/4 by 8. And that will be my little snowflake that goes over here. And then I think usually what I do, if we're working with the 6 by 8, I'm cutting off 1 1/4. So I think that'll do the same thing here. We'll get just a little snippet. We'll cut up 1 1/4. And that 1 1/4, we will actually put right over here. Does it go like that? I wasn't paying attention. Oh wait, here? Yes, okay. Kind of goes together like that. So we can kind of keep that grain going. All right, so we're going to put this guy on the left, like that. So around my outer left corners. A little adhesive going there. And get that guy down. And then this piece I will put over here, just to kind of help pull that pattern and draw our eye from the left page to the right page. I very specifically don't put things right up to the center. I don't have them meet right up in the center because eventually I do this where I come in and deconstruct everything, and then I stitch it back together. And when I do that, I make a cover that's a little bit larger because the more that you do, the more the pages tend to stick out. So cover a little bit larger. And then I stitch it together with wax thread. So it's just nice and kind of sturdy and everything is together. There is a video here on my YouTube channel that kind of show you how to do that. But I don't want those things meeting in the center because then they might not quite line up when I do that. So that's what I do. Denise said, now I'm torn. Do I want to use the season pass on a list or my monthly? Well, Denise, guess what? You really can do both because I've pulled out all the product again. I pulled another kit and I pulled out all the product so that everybody could kind of see what this portion, the winter portion of the kit looks like. But if I went back to my kit hang on, I lost my train of thought there. If I went back to my kit that I used when I first set up my Traveler's Notebook for January, I still have pieces, right? Because I did not use any of this in setting up my Traveler's Notebook for January. And that was the thought of why I did this particular layout on an 8.5 by 11. So you would have this to be able to use. So you might be okay. Actually, I probably didn't want to adhere that little guy yet. That's all right. Okay, so there we go. I need to now put something over here, but I don't quite know yet what I want to put over here. So I think we're going to keep going. I'm going to do a little decorating over here. I know the one piece I want to put here, but I don't quite know yet what that background needs to look like. So let's decorate over here and then we will get going. Did I lose that? Oh, I probably turned that upside down and that little guy came out. All right. Let's see. I need a piece of white cardstock because I am going to write my list on white cardstock. Obviously, I can't, well, I guess I could, but I can't really write my list on there. So let's get out our white cardstock. Denise, I did use a Zig. I did use Zig's photo signature on that. I didn't need to. Let's just do something here. This paper, if you're familiar with, like, for example, the Pretty Little Studio paper, Pretty Little Studio paper has a little bit of a coating on it. Same here. It's how it is printed with the printer because they're much smaller runs than, say, like a regular scrapbook manufacturer. So printing process is different there. So that one right there is my Zig photo signature. And then I will do this one here with my Sharpie. They will both work. So as I'm rubbing, and I'm rubbing really hard on that line with my Zig photo signature, totally fine. My Sharpie is fine too. It's not smearing. But what's happening with my Sharpie, actually a little bit of the black is coming off. I can see it's now a little bit fainter. So you can use either one. You don't have to use a Zig Photo Signature on there if you are writing on the season pass paper, but it did get a little bit more dull. Didn't smear, it just got a little bit more dull. All right, so let's grab, oh yes, my white cardstock. So I think we will end up with, let's just do a little measuring here. How about we, there, I just grabbed my Sharpie to do that, in there. When I work with white cardstock, I work with 8.5 by 11 as well, because there's less waste that way for me since I'm working in a smaller space. And I could use a 12 by 12, but I'd end up with extra pieces that would be kind of an odd size that I wouldn't necessarily use. So I use a Neenah Bright White. It is a smooth surface, but it's nice, nice thickness, nice quality. So when you are, if you are doing your list on something other than like the insert itself, so you're using cardstock, it's important, at least in my opinion, that you're working with a nice quality cardstock, especially if you're stamping on it. If you're stamping on it, you really want to have a nice, smooth, not super thin. You're not buying it at the dollar store because you get what you pay for, right? It may be very porous and it might really soak up the ink in your stamp, or it may sit on, kind of the ink may sit on top a little bit, or if it has any kind of texture or a lot of fibers in it, it will just wreak havoc with your stamp. So I use that Neenah Bright White. I do have it on the website. I order it like reams of 500 at a time because I use it for lots of different things. Sometimes I put them in kits and things like that. And then sometimes things are printed on them, like printables and things like that in your kits. But I also break them down into smaller, like 20 little packs of 25 or something like that. So surely Amy will link for us. All right. So I think I would like to, if we go there, I know I'm going to do a little title up here. I know I need to do a little bit of writing on one of these little guys. So let's just start seeing as we're looking for ink. I think I'm going to make my title black, but maybe not the whole thing. There isn't necessarily a blue. I'd say Faded Jeans might be okay. It's not quite right. And these are all Distress Oxides that I use. Stormy Sky, it's kind of, but not quite. And then you have, Tumble Glass, not quite light blue. Speckled Egg, I think when I did my Traveler's Notebook setup, I used Speckled Egg. So we'll probably use Speckled Egg. Just looking for something very quickly. Oh, here we go. All right. If you want to see, this is how I set my Traveler's Notebook up using that Season Pass kit. So you can kind of see it all in action there. And this is what we did in class. So I'm going to stamp. I think I'll probably use that same ink color again because I kind of like that little combination there. I also did a habit tracker with Season Pass. Okay. So let's do, the reason why I was starting with that, yeah, that's where I was headed, is because I would like to have, oh, this is out, Speckled Egg. I must have used Speckled Egg on Saturday. The ink would help, Lil. The tool is nice to have, but you need the ink. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to, if I want to stamp with the ink, I'd kind of maybe like to work a little bit of that ink in on my little list here. So I am just going to take one of the mini, this is a mini ink blending tool as opposed to tiny. Tiny is really small. This is a mini. And I am just inking the edges. So it kind of softens up that white a little bit. And brings in a little bit of color. So what you saw me pull out, I'll just pull it back out again while we are working. You saw me pull that out. That was an Amy invention. That is a ink blending foam storage kit. And those are available on the website. We can do any type of ink. I think there are 7 or 8 different, inks that we have available. But if we need to add something else, we can. But basically, you are ordering the case. You are ordering 2 as part of it, as the kit. You order in the case. You have 2 of these sheets that fit inside because they can go back to back. And with the minis, a case like that will hold up to 40 of your little ink blending tools. So also includes 42 pre-punched circles, so you can swatch your little circles. And then also includes 40 little Velcro pieces. And that's how your pieces are sticking at most spots in your little case. That's just a great way. If you do things with the ink blending tool and you have a lot of inks, it's just a great way to store. Because in 2 of those, I've stored 80, not quite 80, because Tim is now, I know, Denise, isn't that funny? I gotta try it. Because he's now done with his Distress inks, the line of Distress inks. Actually, he's done with everything now. But 2 of those hold 80 of my little daubers. So it just, a lot of times when we're crafting, it's all about making sure that we're organized and we know where our things are. Because if we're not organized and we don't know where our things are, then there's trouble, right? Then there's trouble. Next time I see you, Denise, I'm going to have you show me what you mean by that. Okay, so I've got ink on my fingers now. I know, thank you. Yeah, I've got ink on my fingers. So anytime you're stamping or working with ink, I think it's always a good idea to have, I just have wipes in my craft room here. Just wipes in my craft room. If you are working with ink or anything like that, it just makes it easy. All right, to clean up quickly. So Veronica, he announced a couple of weeks ago that he is stepping back and enjoying being a maker. When I say maker, crafting. So there are a few new products that he had already had in the works in 2024 with a couple of his partners, manufacturer partners that will release in 2025. But he is no longer designing new products. So he has been around forever and a day and has been really instrumental in helping to grow the hobby and the community. But yes, he announced that a couple of weeks ago. All right. Flip over so Velcro is on top. Okay, someone's gonna have to show me. We'll get it figured out. All right, so here we go. I know that I have these cute little characters here. I am going to use this Hello Winter card over on this side. So I will stay away from using, most likely, the little mountain. But we have a little snowman that we could use here. We have, this one's so cute. We have igloo. We could work in here as part of my list. We have some trees. We have some little ice skating people. I don't know, I feel like this little guy would be sure fun to put there. Maybe he just goes here. So we have that going for us, I think. My title up here, this is going to be a different way than I normally do things I'm looking forward to. Normally when I do things I'm looking forward to, let's take a look at this last one. I'm using the All the Things stamp set, and I decided this time I am going to totally change it up. So like this one, things I'm looking forward to this year, I used All the Things stamp set. I'm going to totally change it up, and I'm going to use the season pass stamp set to put Happy Winter up here, and then down here I will put things I'm looking forward to. So that's my plan. And I don't think I've picked enough pink So I think we'll go with this label down here. That will go a little bit better, like that. All right, so let's get these guys down and then I'll do my stamping. Then we'll do our list. So things I'm looking forward to this winter. What are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to? And guess what? It doesn't have to be like huge things. I know, isn't the little walrus cute? All right. So I am just here going to take a little piece of my highlighter tape and highlight. Yes, and highlight. And hook those two together. So what was once a single die cut is now, excuse me, golly, this is what happens when we do the nighttime ones. What was once 2 die cuts is now 1 die cut. So once I get my die cuts where I'd like them to be, this I need to just go ahead and adhere down. That's going to start causing me problems. Once I get my die cuts, kind of I know how I want them layered together, and pretty simplified when I'm only using 2. But if I was using 3 or 4 or 5, it might be a little bit harder to I get them where I want them, and then I don't necessarily, we don't want that in there. Sometimes it's hard to pick them back up and then glue them and put them down and then have them, where you wanted them still. That totally, hopefully made sense. All right, and then that just pulls right off like that. All right, so there's that, and oh golly, that is not straight at all. Not straight at all. So let's just pull this guy back up. So this is kind of a fun little tidbit. Everything in the Season Pass kit, with the exception of the pouch, and the Traveler's Notebook inserts, if you opt to have Traveler's Notebook inserts included. Whoopsie, oh my gosh, Lael, I didn't adhere that yet. If you opt to have Traveler's Notebooks included, everything made in the US. So the paper's manufactured in the US, the stamps, the stickers. Here's even a more fun little thing. Do you know who does the stickers for me? Who produces them? Melissa at Pretty Little Studio. Not fun. I reached out to her a couple of years ago and said, hey, listen, would you ever want to do this? Like do some things for me? Like if I design them and get you the artwork and then you print them and cut them and all of that. And she's like, absolutely. That was kind of fun. She's an incredibly nice woman. All right, so now we want to do a little stamping. This is the stamp set from the Winter Spring Season Pass kit. And you'll notice that the icons are all in the die cuts and not in the stamps. So the stamps are meant to really last you for a long time, right? And of course, if they had the icons, they would last for a long time. But these you could use for tons of different things, not obviously just, like little snowmen and things on them. All right, so let's get Happy. And then let's get the one that says Winter. I don't know, Happy Winter is a little bit like an oxymoron in my book, you know what I'm saying? Happy Winter. All right, so I think we decided that we wanted to use Speckled Egg. So let's get out a stamping block for that. Happy, that one we don't quite need. Let's look. Oh my gosh, you guys. One of the things that, oh, there we go. Sorry, that's incredibly noisy. There we go. Those little buggers are noisy. One of the things that, oh heavens, now I've totally lost my train of thought. I don't know. I don't even know what I was going to say. All right, so let's take, oh, I know. Jeez, Lael. What I was going to say, one of the things I'm fond of saying is right size your stamp to your stamping block. What I mean by that is if you can have several different size of stamping blocks, so you have a stamping block that is suited to the size of your stamp, you will make your life so much easier. If you only have one stamping block, that's totally okay. But if you only have one stamping block, basically means you've got to have something like this, right? You have to have a really large one to make it work for your different size stamps. Which if you have a large stamp and you're using a large stamping block, totally okay. But once I am trying to use that stamping block for that little tiny winter, that is just way too much excess block that makes it hard to get an even amount of pressure without rocking it. So I recommend right size your stamping blocks to your stamp. So like this little guy is perfect for that little one. Just makes life a lot easier. Some of you are afraid to stamp because you have not stamped a lot in your past. That helps. Certainly having a stamping block that's appropriately sized. All right. Other thing is test first. I shouldn't say don't ever. 95% of the time, I test before I stamp. I would much rather figure out that my stamp was crooked or I had a little Reggie hair, the cat, across my Happy, and so Happy has a little bit of a gap in it or anything like that. I would much rather find that out. I'd much rather discover that in my test as opposed to, just figuring that out here. All right, so Happy looks good. We are going to take a pencil board. Pencil board is a fancy name for something flat that you stick underneath a page to give you a flat surface to stamp on. When you are first working in a new insert, it's not necessarily as important because you don't have a lot of pages to make it bulky, unless you have somewhere in one of the earlier pages, put like a die cut or something that's making it a little bit of a layer. So what we don't want to have happen is we don't want to have what we have already done. What? Oh my gosh, you're a dork. Did you guys hear that? Nick came in and do you know what he said? Squirrel.
It scared you.
You did scare me. All right. Anyhow, if I had, and we ran into that, well, you run into it. Well, how do I say this? So let's say, let me find a good example of something that I had done. Okay, this could be an example. So I had done this list and right here I had a sticker. Totally fine. When I started this list, if I'm stamping things I'd like to forget, I need to be cognizant of what I did prior to that. Because if I don't put a pencil board or something flat in between those pages, when I go to stamp that, it's possible that it may underneath, that stamp may run into that sticker. It may meet that sticker right around here. And it's just, even though it's a really thin sticker, it is enough to make a little bump in the paper. And then I might not get the stamped impression that I'd like. So pencil board, fancy name for something that you stick under something to make it flat. All right. So I think what I might do with this Happy, and then there are 3 words on that stamp set that are kind of intended to nestle underneath, kind of right. They fit just kind of right like that. So that one's going to say Happy Winter. I think I will stamp that. I was going to say I was going to stamp it in black, but I don't think so. I think I might just stamp it in that same color. So that's a nice thing if you tested something first. Now you have it already stamped and you can see how you like the stamp, this other stamp with it. So do I want it to be the same color? Do I want it to be different? Where do I want it placed? There we go. I think it'll be cute with, the blue twice. So I will do that and then I'll show you how I did it a little bit differently when I set up my Traveler's Notebook. All right, so here we go. This little guy's just gonna nestle right in there. There we go, Happy Winter. All right, so when I did it over here, I used Happy. I used same color, speckled egg, and then Winter I did in the black, just to give it a little bit of a contrast. But kind of a fun layer together like that. And the reason they're separate stamps is so that Happy Works for anything, right? I mean, you can use happy for until the cows come home with that stamp set. But you have happy winter, you have happy spring, and then heart. I mean, you could say happy heart if you wanted, but yeah. All right, so we've got that cleaned off. We want to put those away. We want to clean them and put them away right away. Just, always joke. It's kind of like at night when you're ready to go to bed. If you put the dishes in the dishwasher before you go to bed, it's much easier to clean them than if you wait till the morning and then everything's just kind of, burnt on or stuck on, solidified on. All right, so now I need to add that's my title, but now I kind of have a subtitle. Subtitle is what I'm looking forward to. Forward to. So I had to stack it a little bit because I wrote a little bit bigger. What I'm looking forward to. So there we go. Now these are the things that I'm looking forward to this winter. I think, let's talk about one more thing. The stickers. I need to put some stickers on there right now before I forget. So the sticker sheet, that is a 5x7 word strip sticker sheet. And those will be, this is how this word strip stickers will be in all of the season passes. I'm all about the word strip stickers. I love the word strip stickers. I use word strip stickers on everything. And it's kind of divided into 3 sections. You'll see that's one long sticker. The snowflakes is kind of beginning of the year in winter. And then the second section is kind of February, love, things like that, and then hearts. And then that bottom section is spring, but then it's also really generic things like do your best, you've got this, you'll never believe it, make today count, things like that. So that's how that is separated. But if you wanted to, let's look at this. Let's look at this little guy. Whoop. Because it might be kind of fun too. Can I work this in here? Just a little bit. I think I'd like to do that. So let's just tear this off. Whoops. Hang on, I'll get my fat fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So we're almost making it like it's a piece of washi tape. And it is the width that we need it to be working in a traveler's notebook, right? It's 5 inches, so. And then this little guy, I will just trim off right here, and then that will just slide underneath our little snowman. That little excess slide under a little snowman. Right like that. All right, so now I feel like I need to do a little bit of a little separator line here before I start my list. Let's do 2. I've been doing 2 lately. I don't know, I probably waffle all the time between whether I'm doing 1 or 2. All right, so it's just kind of a nice little visual separator as I get ready to do my list. All right, we do need to get some stickers down because if I start making my list, I will totally forget. We could do, I'd like to put something right there. So what if we do bundle up, right? Talk about bundle up. Lots of us in the US right now need to bundle up. Now our friends in Australia that are on, they're like, oh goodness, no way, we can't bundle up. It's too warm. But I tell you, the word strip sticker just sometimes just makes all the difference in the world. All right, so bundle up. And then maybe if we just put a few strategically in here. The other thing I want to maybe remember, I have little snowflakes, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to use snowflakes. I think we are going to just grab a few of these things. So we have New Year, New Beginning, right? That's happening right now for sure. New Year, New Beginning. And then we have Frosty Fun is cute. Frosty Fun. I'm just like scattering them and I'll write my list kind of around those things. And then we need maybe just one more down here. Winter Wonderland. No, baby, it's cold outside because it sure is. Maybe it's cold outside. So let's see, is that Is that length okay? I think for me, it's a little bit too close to the length of that. So we'll just go with something really small. How about let it snow? Or meh, right? Meh. We could certainly go with meh if we're not really excited about anything winter related. All right, let it snow. In fact, it's a little bit longer. We don't need it to be that long. We've got all that excess, so we're really going to shorten it. All right, do you guys tell me what you're looking forward to this winter? Because you know what I'm going to do? That's going to be our first giveaway in the chat, in the live. So to start the conversation, and I've been so carried away with working. I don't even know if you guys have been talking or not. I know you have, but I've totally missed lots of things. So the way you participate in a giveaway when they're live is you participate in the chat. So I will do a little bit more work here, and then we all stop and I'll pick the winner. And the way I pick the winner is I just scroll right up, and then I'll show you a fun thing that I put together for the prizes for tonight for Squirrel Appreciation Day. All right, we have enough color now that we've incorporated on that left-hand side. We know what we're doing, so I can kind of work on this other half now. Hello, winter. There we go. This is going to go over here, and I need some more, another piece of pattern paper. So let's go back and look at the, where did the 8.5 by 11 go? Oh, here we go. All right, so if I wanted to bring in some pink, that little guy is going to go there. I could bring in pink, or I don't know, this plaid I think could be really fun too. Then we really bring in a lot of color. Because if I bring him in here, and then maybe we bring in, oh yeah, no, he's way too big. He is way too big, but this little person could be cute right there. I think. What do you guys think? Do you like the plaid? Plaid? Or, well, I also have this to work with. I have these little kind of pink snowballs. The pink snowballs could be fun too. Like that. What do we think? You guys tell me, and I will do whatever you say. I will do whatever you say. Thumbs up on the plaid. Plaid. Oh yeah, okay, it's plaid. We're going with the plaid. All right. So with the plaid, then I just need a piece that is, since I already put that guy down, that was kind of our leftover, right? I need a piece that is about 3¼ inches wide. I know there's lots of options, right? We've got plaid, we have the pink snowballs, 3. Okay, trimmer. I hate it when it gets that place and you're like, you don't know where it is. All right, 3¼ and then we need it to be by 8. Turn that around. We just need to trim off a tiny bit, right? Well, we're basically trimming off a half because it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So that is the plan. That is how oh golly, I'm a little bit, why am I so narrow there? Oh well. I didn't do the math or use the trimmer properly. That is the plan for the season passes. That's the plan for the layout. There will always be, for each kind of month, there will be 2 12 by 12 papers. There will be a 6 by 8 that has 3 by 4 cards on one side and a pattern on the other. And then there will be an 8.5 by 11 that has 2 5.5 by 8.5 patterns on one side. And then on the other side, the full 8.5 by 11. So just different configurations of papers for you to work with. Yep, it's short, but oh well. Not enough to start over, right? Not enough to start over. Okay, so now where's my little card? Oh yeah, here we go. My Hello Winter, my little snowman card. Snowman, that is not a snowman, Lale. it is a mountain. That is the mountain. Mountain will go right there. And then we have this cute little guy. I think that little guy can just maybe go right in there, right? Or what if, does he need to be on a little thing? No, not at all. I think he's gonna be good all by himself. Actually, we better get a little bit of adhesive on his feet so he doesn't skate away on us. All right, so I'm going to get him glued down, and then I will do the first giveaway. So, you know, just be ready. Be ready. Okay, he'll be right there. You know what, well, let's see. I also have this little guy. Oh yeah, no, we don't need to bring that in there. That's just like an extra whatever. We don't want to use that. We don't need to put that there. That's just like, we just wanted to put it there. I do have some trees and I have a few snowflakes. We put a little snowflake right there. I think that's good. And then we'll do our list. So let me get that snowflake down and then I will do the giveaway. I'll show you what it is. All right, there is the little snowflakey. Okay, I feel like I need to sneeze. So I'll show you what it is first. Karen, it is not Simple Stories. This is the Lail by Mail Season Pass. It is my paper and my die cuts. The whole kit is all Lail by Mail products. Season Pass for spring or winter spring. But that's nice that you said you thought it was Simple Stories, because they're pretty awesome. All right, you guys, so 3 giveaways, 2 tonight, and then there's an after party giveaway. All 3 giveaways are this, okay? So this is a little canvas Lail by Mail pouch with our squirrel, Scatter the Squirrel. And inside of that, you have 3 little things, 3 fun little things. Number 1, you have a Squirrel Squad vinyl sticker. You have a enamel squirrel pin. Enamel Scatter the Squirrel pin. And the Scattered Thoughts stamp set. And that's what I'm going to use in our next list. So we'll do 2 of these live tonight. So right now we're going to just do the first one. So I am going to stop. And my finger is stopping with Karen Kokias. Karen! Congratulations, Karen. Karen, shoot me an email, please. lailbymail@gmail.com. In the subject line, please put Squirrel Prize. And then in the body of the email, add your name and address. And the team will get that shipped off to you next week. Congratulations, Karen. Congratulations, my friend. Excited for you. Now, don't be sad yet. If you're not Karen, don't be sad yet, because I have another one that we're doing live in a while. And then even then, if you don't win, don't be sad yet, because then there's the after party as well. You can, we'll do one on the comments from the video itself. All right, so there we go. We'll end up doing, we need a little something down here, right? Looks like something's missing. What do we say when something's missing? What do we need to do? We add a word strip. So let's look at Winter Wonderland. It's that time of year, full of possibility. Baby, it's cold outside. How about that guy? The one that we were looking at before. So this one, even though we already have a little word strip there, I think we can maybe just put another one there. I think we're okay. And then maybe we want to do a little, I don't like him there, but what if he goes over here maybe? Nope. Oh, we're just going to leave it that way. We're just going to leave it that way, although we could put one there. Oh, what if we do this? What if we put one in each of those little corners? And then we've got the 3 corners, kind of like the 4 corners, but the 3 corners. Well, 4 corners. 4 corners. There is a place in Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico, where each of those states has a corner, a right-angled corner, a 90-degree corner, that they all meet in one place, and that is a monument called 4 Corners. And you can go stand on all 4 corners. You can be in 4 states at once. I don't know. I don't really like that there because it's too, oh no, we're just going to put it down, Lil. Just do it. Okay. There we go. There we go. Karen said, okay, y'all, I've totally forgotten what our list is actually listing. Things I'm looking forward to in the winter. That's what I'm doing. Things I'm looking forward to this winter. All right. Now, I would like to have a little bullet stamp, and I would like to have a little snowflake. So, oh, golly, all kinds of things are coming out. Bullets and more too. So there are 3 bullet stamp sets. Bullets and more. No, sorry. Bullets and more 2, and bullets and more 3. I would say if you said, Lael, what is the single most used stamp that you use personally? I would say, wait a minute, I have to pick one. And you'd say, yes. What is the one that you use the most? And I say, bullets and more, 2. Bullets and more 2, hands down. It's just got a lot of little icons on it that I tend to use often. All right, so I'm putting it on the stylus. That's one of my products. That is a stamping block, but it's a stamping block for really teeny stamp. Remember before when we said right size your stamp to the stamping block if you can. Back to our like overly exaggerated example. If I only have one stamping block, it has to be the largest one for my largest stamp. And if I'm trying to stamp with that little teeny tiny stamp like that, on that big one, it's going to be near impossible to do. I mean, you can do it, but near impossible. So you put that little snowflake on the end of that stylus, and then it's really easy for your hand to work with because your hand's used to working with something like that because it's just like that, or just like a pen or pencil. All right, so bullet stamps. This is going to be a run-on list. What I mean by a run-on list is I will stamp, I will write something, and then I'll stop, and then I'll stamp again and write the next thing on my list. So the winter one is always a little bit hard for me because I am not necessarily a winter person, even though I live in a winter place. But I'm not a huge winter person. I like summer, I like the sun, I like the water, so I'm kind of living in the wrong place. But, you know, that's all right. So sometimes I have to dig really deep to think about what I'm looking forward to this winter. The very first one that's on my list, and I have my list over here. I use my little workbook to plan all of our sessions. I had to start a new one in August because the one before that was like 3 years full. But this is what I use to plan our things. So the very first thing on my list is, I want to see one of those. I'm looking forward to more snow. And then I said, did I really say that? Grace, I had to watch without sound, but did I read in the chat possible tour? I don't think so. Did I say tour? You guys will have to help me remember. I don't think I did. I don't think so. All right. So yes, though, I am looking forward to more snow. We have not had very much snow. More snow. We haven't had much, and it's still at that magical stage. And believe me, soon it will not be the magical stage. Usually like March or April, when you're really ready for winter to be over, that's when the winter comes hot and heavy. All right, next one is getting into a health and fitness routine. I'm on that track again. So that really has nothing to do with winter and cozy socks and blankets and fires and getting settled, I should say, because I'm already into it. Getting settled into my health and fitness routine. I make it sound way more fancy than it is. Really watching what I eat again. Story of my life. And though moving my body. Okay, that's easy. The other one is lots of energy. I am looking forward to this winter, lots of energy. And I always forget what happens. When I start something like this, getting kind of settled into a health and wellness or fitness routine or whatever it is, I have so much energy, like I am a bundle of energy. Oh yeah, we can't do that. It's already down. I wanted to move it, but that's okay. I wanted to move it up just a little bit higher, but it's fine. So I'm looking forward to having all of that as opposed to being like really tired and sluggish. So looking forward to that this winter too. Denise is looking forward to fluffy blankets all the time, right? Tracy's look at her Ugg boots, toasty and cuddly. Yes, love that too. Love having warm feet, and although not in the house, I can't wear socks or shoes in the house, but if I go out in the snow, I want to have like really nice, right? Really nice warm foot things. Looking forward to seeing Lainey. That's my little sister, Lainey. Seeing Lainey next month. Closely tied to that, because she lives in Washington State. Closely tied to that is going with, I better do one down here too. Flying with mom to Tacoma to go wedding dress shopping with Kat. Kat is our older son Jack's fiance, and so they were out for Thanksgiving, and she invited my mom and I to go with her wedding dress shopping. So we're kind of making a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go to my sister's, see her Monday, fly home Tuesday out of it. So that'll be fun. I haven't traveled with my mother in forever. So it'll just kind of be a fun little trip. And then we'll see my sister too. So that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I am looking forward to this weekend, a craft retreat that I am going to as a crafter, not as a teacher or instructor or business person or Lael. I'm going as Lael the crafter, not as Lael anything else, which I do this once a year, and I fly to San Diego to do this because it just makes my heart so happy. So that's my get out. It's still, I'll still be doing some work because can't get away from that, but doing some crafty things for me. And yes, very much looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to a week in Hawaii to get out of the cold. Nick business, so I get to tag along. That's always a perk of his job and a perk of being his wife. So that'll be nice. Also looking forward to a girls trip to Coronado, also to get out of the winter and the sun. And then nothing related to anything else other than I am really looking forward to the next season of 1923. Anybody watch that, 1923, like the prequel? Well, it's like the second prequel. There was a prequel, and this is like the prequel. Well, there was a prequel, and then there was a prequel. 1923 is the prequel to Yellowstone with Harrison Ford. Yeah, Harrison Ford. Anyhow, so those are some of the things I'm looking forward to this winter. I need to date this, so I'm just going to, since I have all this extra room over here, I am going to get out the roller date stamp. And, oh, did I put that back in? I think I must have put that back in to the things that I'm taking with me that I have packed. So hold tight. Oh, shoot. I just remembered there was something I was going to use today on that intro page. I totally messed up. Okay, well, you'll see this if you join me tomorrow night for What's New Wednesday. I totally forgot until I just saw this because I had it packed away in my bag. there are a number of new things on the website, and this was one of the things I was going to use tonight, but we'll use it when we list together again. This is a cutout and collage book, and it has 1,500 images, tons and tons and tons of really fun, different, quirky, all different kinds of things. The images, those are obviously much larger. But we'll talk about this, like that I love. Kind of doing a little bit of junk journaling, layering, but I'm going to kind of incorporate things into our lists. So I totally forgot that I was going to use that. Oh, we'll take a look at that a little bit closer tomorrow night. Okay, so, but I found that in my bag when I was getting this, when I was getting that out. So today is January 21, 2025. I think I'll do that. Well, let's see. Let's do a little test just to see what we think how we might want to do that. I think it might need to be, I mean, it will be pretty faint. Let's do it. Let's do it faint. January 21. Make sure that that is not a 7. Okay, good. And this will go right here. It's pretty faint. You really have to look to see it, but it's there. January 21, 2025. All right, so list is done. It's all done. All righty, I gotta check our time. Okay, so, oh, golly. Have we been going for 2 hours? Wow. Holy moly. Well, I'm cutting us off in an hour, so. Yikes. Leo, I gotta work faster. Okay. Our next list, I'm not going to pick any of this up. We're just going to put it off to the side and I will deal with it all later. Our next list is on the website. If you looked at, or on the blog post that I said, I appreciate, and then fill in the blank. So my thought for this list for me, well, I tell you, my thought for this list for you is that you can make a list of things that you appreciate. All right. For me, my list is things I appreciate about you guys, about the squirrels, about the Squirrel Squad. Since today is it's Squirrel Appreciation Day, so I thought that would be kind of fun. It's funny. Sam was here, and we were chatting, and I said, oh. So one of my list is, I said, it's Squirrel Appreciation Day today. And I said, so one of my lists is about appreciate. And he goes, oh, Mom, I know. Okay, so Mom, near our office, there's these little squirrels. And so sometimes at lunch, we like to sit there and we watch the squirrels. And I'm like, no, Sam, that's not what I mean. I mean appreciating the squirrels, right? The squirrels, you guys. Yes, like little squirrels. So I thought that'd be kind of fun to do today because I appreciate you guys so. I'm sure I don't tell you that enough often, but I absolutely do. So I thought that'd be kind of, and then that's a good, it's good for me to have that in my lists. All right, bulletin more too. We need to put this guy away. So this next one is a single page. And this next one should go pretty quickly. Not because there aren't lots of things I appreciate about you guys, but because we're going to use our little scattered thoughts. This, I ended up, I had retired them, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. And then people started asking for them again, so I had more made. And somebody wanted one so bad when I didn't have them that I sent her mine. And so I'll have to open up a new one tonight. I mean, not have to, but I need to get it ready to stamp with because it's a brand new stamp. So here's the thing. When you have a brand new stamp, they are not ready, and it's not mine in particular, they're not ready to be used right out of the package. They need to be conditioned or primed. If you think about making muffins, and I'm going to kind of talk about this while I talk through it. There are a couple of different ways that you can do this. So I will talk through what I'm doing, and then I'll tell you some other ways that you could do this. But you really should do one of these ways. And if you haven't been doing one of these, you may not like stamping, because if you don't do one of these ways, then there's a little bit of an issue. So I'm starting out with a just white rubber eraser. And I am just erasing lightly over the top of this stamp set. The reason why I'm doing that, if you think about making muffins, let's say you're making muffins. Most people would either put in a little muffin cup, a cupcake cup in the muffin tin, or you might spray Pam in there, okay? Like spray Pam or whatever. The reason why you would do that is so that the muffin mix does not stick when it bakes, right? So that when they're done, they pop right out and everything looks good. Same thing, similar process when photopolymer stamps are made. There is a mold that's created and the material gets poured into the mold. And they spray something, there's something in there. It's not Pam, I don't know what they use. But there's something in there that makes it so that the material, the polymer, releases easily from the mold. And so that is still on your stamp. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but it's there. So if it's there and you're not aware that it's there and you don't get it off, when you start stamping, sometimes the first 4 or 5 or 6 times you stamp with it, it just looks odd. So that's what I start with. I just use my little eraser. I erase that. Now I need to get those little eraser things off. All right, so I'm using my chamois. You've seen me use my little stamp chamois as I've been cleaning my stamps. So I just am getting that all nice and clean. I don't want the little erasers, the little eraser shavings to prevent, to be on the stamp and prevent my ink from sticking, right? Next step, I need to dry that. Super important that you dry before you put any ink on. The reason for that is, depending on the ink that you use, and I use Distress Oxides. Distress Oxides are a polymer. I'm back on polymer. Distress Oxides are a hybrid. They're a pigment and dye mix. But pigment part of it means that it's a little bit wetter. Takes a little bit for it to dry. It's water reactive because it's a little bit wetter. So if I am not drying off any moisture on my stamp and it's still wet, and then I go and put my water reactive ink on there, then the ink is going to react and it's going to look different than probably I'm expecting. So want to dry that. And I dry that with a microfiber cloth, just so I'm not transferring any, fibers or lint or whatever onto the stamp. So once I do that, and you'll notice I did that for the entire stamp set at once. Way easier to do it for the entire stamp set than, doing it one at a time. So it's done, and now I'm ready to stamp with it. So that is one way that you can condition your stamp. Another way is you can just ink it up and start stamping. But if you're inking it up and start stamping, don't stamp directly on your project. You want to start stamping on a piece of scratch paper or something like that. So you'll stamp, re-ink, stamp, re-ink, stamp, re-ink until that image looks the way that you want it. Really until all of that Pam is off of the stamp. So it's the second way. So usually I do the eraser stamp chamois. That's just kind of what I do. I think it takes less time than stamping and stamping and stamping, because you've got to do that for every single stamp. The third way, and this is not something I do, so I can't tell you if it works or not, but people tell me that they do this. They do that, take the stamp and put it on their hand or on their arm a couple times, and it gets that off. In my head, that doesn't, it doesn't make sense, because I may be getting that off, but then I'm getting lotion and oils and dry skin and whatever. I'm just transferring one thing off and one thing back on again, then I need to go through that cleaning process. So all of that to say, it doesn't really matter how you do it, but it matters that you do it. You really should be in the habit of conditioning or priming your stamp before you use it. All right, so this is going to be a single page list. I am going to use that cute little squirrel. Cindy, the squirrel stamp is not new. Cindy, that is, excuse me, Scattered Thoughts. is my very first stamp set that I ever did. That was stamp number 1. And that was early in the pandemic because we had a little squirrel because I was doing like I do on YouTube. And you guys know, if you've been with me for a while, I tend to get off topic sometimes and go on a totally different tangent. And that is squirrel, right? Squirrel. And so early in the pandemic, Sam was here with me, and the end of one of the sessions, he's like, gosh, Mom, you sure get off topic a lot. And I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. Like, whatever. I think I forgot to get that out. Hold on. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. And so he's like, no, really, Mom, you do. It's quite annoying. And I'm like, dude, you just stop it right now. You know, mother, son. And where did that go? Oh, such a ding-a-ling, I already got it out. I'm like, I swear I got that out. And I said, Sam, it's because I squirrel. And he goes, what do you mean you squirrel? And I said, okay, remember when you saw Up when you were a little kid? Oh, yeah, Up. The grandpa with his little dog, Doug. And they went to the park, and Doug and Grandpa are at the park. And Grandpa's talking to Doug, and next thing you know, he says squirrel. Or he sees a squirrel, and he goes, squirrel. And he looks anyhow. You know what I'm saying? That's how Scatter, that's how our little mascot, and that's why it's squirrel. Well, it's not Squirrel Appreciation Day for us, but it just happens to work. Anyhow, that's the origin of Scatter. Yeah, it was retired and I brought it back. I brought it back maybe like 6 months ago because people were asking for him again. I'm like, okay, I'll bring him back. All right, so what I thought I'd do, I thought it might be fun if he's there, and then on that little stamp, there's a little speech bubble. So I thought I might use a little speech bubble and I could put my little, kind of title in there. So that's my thought. That is my thought. Yes, okay. But I need, some fun, cute, there's all kinds of hearts. I pulled out heartstrings from Simple Stories. And there are a ton of cute flowers and hearts and all kinds of things. So I thought this would be kind of a fun collection. That would be cute. Maybe I'll just do that little guy. Maybe some smaller hearts too. I think this would be a fun little collection. It's nothing to do with love. Well, okay, yes it does, because I love you guys, but it has nothing to really do with love. This is just like fun and appreciate, and yeah. All right, so I had dumped a whole bunch of things out earlier, so I'm just pulling some things out. In heartstrings, you have 3 different packages of die cuts. You have the icon die cuts, and have I done a flip through video of this? I don't think I have yet. I think we need to look at this in depth, not in depth, but I think we'll look at this one tomorrow night because I don't think we've looked at this. There are regular die cuts, there are floral die cuts, and there are, it's kind of all over right now, isn't it? The 6x8 pad, the sentiments die cuts, right? The sentiments die cuts are always fun. So let's see if we can find something there that, oh, I know. Oh, look, are the best. How about that? The best. Let's see. Let me pull these out and put them in a little tray so I can see what we have. Look at you are great. You guys are great. Sending all my, so these are meant to kind of be layered together, multiple pieces. So that's why sending all my looks kind of fun by itself. Funny by itself. You are great. I don't know. You are great, I think might be really fun. I think we might need a you are great. You make my heart smile. You guys do. Yes. Hey, friend. Just for you. You make me so happy. All right. Let's see if we can. Some of those I think will work. So let's take what we have there. Oh, okay. Now, what if we used those 2 things? Might be fun too. All right. Let's narrow it down to those things. So I like this I think I like the orange because it's has little pink dots. But it's not so like Valentine's, right? It's not so like romantic love. It's like, oh, my friend, I love you. All right. So we need white cardstock again to do the base of our list. Cindy said, thank you for bringing it back. I'm a big squirrel myself and feed many every day in my backyard. Oh, that's fun. Maybe the squirrel can hold the balloons. Oh, hey, could that work? Maybe that would work, right? Maybe. Let's see. I think that could be really fun. All right, trimmer. You guys know I'm a little bit of an airhead. I always say I'm like one of the smart, well, I can say this. I always say I think I'm a very intelligent blonde-ish. But I tell you, especially at night, I start to get really scattered just at the end of the day, but I'm scattered all the time anyway, but yeah, that's right. Okay, here we go. That will be our little list here. And we need our corner rounder. Did I put them away? I did. Sometimes that surprises me. It's like, I put that away when we were working. Oh, Shay, I know. Shay said, I love that movie and I have watched it several times. Cry every time. It's one of those, isn't it? So here's a little bit of trivia. The Up house, the house from Up, is in Utah. It is across the valley from where I am, maybe about a half an hour away, and people live in it. It's like a house. All right, the Up house, yes. Okay, and there's a little sign outside. I've never been there, but Amy, you went. Did you go when you were here for the first Simple Stories retreat? I want to say, I think you did, didn't you? I don't know. The heart balloons are so reminiscent of Up. I know, right? They're so cute. Denise said you missed Sam. I know. Denise, you missed him. He was here at the beginning. Well, he wasn't here on purpose. He was just, he wasn't here for this. He was just here. We're doing something with Nick. And so, yeah, he popped in and showed his little face and said hello. He likes you guys. Well, he's got a bond with you guys too, doesn't he? From our, oh golly, those early days of the pandemic, right? Those early days were rough. I mean, a lot of it was rough, but it was the early days where it was like, oh my goodness. It's certainly rough. I mean, all different kinds of people. But Sam, in that age group, he had just had his first semester at college. So he was living in the dorms. He was, felt like he had freedom and he was independent and then had to come home, right? Yeah, it was hard for people that worked from home and then really had no one with them, maybe lived by themselves and had no one with them. And that was a hard time. I know a lot of you went through a really hard time during that time. And we did. That is why so much of, that's where you guys, my business totally turned. My business took on just a totally different being. It was just interesting. And it all started from Monday, the world shut down, and Wednesday we had an earthquake here in Utah, and we do not, that's not a common occurrence like you Californians. So it's like, oh my goodness, I've got to get my mind off things. I was a basket case. And Nick's like, yeah, you got to get your mind off things. You're a basket case. So that Wednesday after the earthquake, I thought to myself, so what could I do? What could I do that would take my mind off things? But what could I do to give back into the community, into the crafting community to help? I'm not the only one freaking out. Like, okay. So here's what I'm worried about here. If I had a die for this little guy, it'd make it really easy, but we don't have a die for him. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is I think I'm going to stamp him on white and then fussy cut him. And this is why. Because If he's holding the balloons, he needs to be about right here, which means part of him will be stamped on the white, part of him will be stamped over here, and part of him over here. He's going to be hanging off the edges, and I don't think that I will like how that looks. So really quickly, let me just get a small piece of little cardstock over here so we're not cutting up that whole thing. I'm just across the room, hang on. All right, here we go. So we'll stamp him and then I'll kind of cut around him. Oh, Denise said I helped a lot. Oh, you guys helped me a lot. I mean, honestly, you guys helped me just as much as I helped you, probably more, because I had a purpose. So that Wednesday, I thought, okay, what do I know a lot about that I could just like put a free class out there on YouTube? Well, I had never done anything live on YouTube. I mean, I'd pre-recorded videos and put them up, but really didn't have a clue. So I had to learn some things about that, even though the first one wasn't live. Look how cute he is. So I said, I know a lot about Traveler's Notebooks. I'm really passionate about them. I can talk about them for hours at a time. And so I'm going to do a video just on intro to Traveler's Notebooks. So I worked on that for 3 days and put it up on a Saturday. And Nick and Sam and I sat in our family room and watched it on the big TV. And it, I don't know, it just resonated with a lot of people. And I'm like, that was really fun. It gave me something to work towards during the week. And I think I have a few more things I could say about Traveler's Notebook. So I did another one the next Saturday and it was recorded. And then after that, I'm like, you know what? I still have a lot more I think I could share. And I think there are a lot of us, I know what's happening here. I think there are a lot of us that would really like a distraction on a Saturday. So I'm going to keep doing them and I'm going to do them live. And then that's how we are still here almost 5 years later. But this list, again, if you're like, wait a minute, what? Where are you? You've really squirreled. It's all tying back to National Squirrel Appreciation Day, which is really a thing. And my list, the list topic that I put out there for everyone was I appreciate, and then you basically are making a list of the things that you appreciate. What you didn't know was that my list was about you guys, what I appreciate about you. All right, so here we go. There he is. Now, don't you think that would look so much better? That's going to be so much better than if I had just stamped and then he was partly on the paper and partly off the paper. And so if he's holding them, that would work, right? Like he's holding them like that. That's a great idea. Karen, was that you? No. Cindy, I think Cindy, that was you, wasn't it? When you said maybe he could be holding them. That's just the cutest little idea ever, I think. All right, so just needed to get a little bit of adhesive in the little bottom parts there and in his little ears, and then I'll use my tape runner because it's way easier to use tape runner. All righty, so let's put him right here. So he's just kind of holding. So what you can't see, he is actually, I'll hold it up. I did not let that black ink dry, and I needed to. Black ink that's the only black I use. In my opinion, that is the one. It always is beautiful and crisp, and it just stamps so nicely. But it is a pigment-based ink. What we said before about a pigment-based ink is you give it a second to dry. And I didn't, so I started fussy cutting, and I've got a little bit, I don't think you would ever notice, but there's just kind of a little bit of black on him because I think I was ink on my thumb, just a little tiny bit, but ink on my thumb that now transferred to the little guy. Karen, let's see, I'm missing all kinds of things. Carol said during the pandemic we couldn't go anywhere, and it was the best thing ever to have something to do when we were stuck at home. I know, right? Carol, are you the shiny pumpkaboo? Is that the right Carol? Shiny pumpkaboo? Tell me if that's you. Karen says she has no more room for 12 by 12s. Traveler's Notebooks are better for that reason. And it's just me the last almost 5 years, right? Yes, I think so. Okay, I've missed lots of things, but yes, this is a fun story. So Carol Kay emailed me the other day and was asking a question about something. And then she said, hey, by the way, it's me, Shiny Pumpkaboo. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I remembered Carol from way early in the pandemic because her name was like Shiny Pumpkaboo and I could never pronounce it. And then she told me it was her daughter's YouTube account. And then literally, I said, Carol, that's the weirdest thing because probably maybe 6 or 9 months ago, you popped into my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder whatever happened to Shiny Pumpkaboo. And then Carol's like, no, it's me. I now have my own thing and I've been here for a long time. I just never knew that Carol was. So it's just fun how, you know, we all have like this. It's like this little family, right? We're like this little family and it's just been Shiny Pumpkaboo, right? Yes, it's so fun. Anyhow. All right. Okay. So, I was thinking I was going to do something with this, but now I'm not because when Squirrel was going to be up here, I was thinking down here, I might need, something, but now I don't. So the other thing I was going to use from that stamp set was the little speech bubble. So let's see if on the speech bubble, maybe the speech bubble goes down here. And really, this is my title, which we don't often do at the bottom, right? Usually we get stuck up at the top. So that could be fun. Let's look. I think we could do that. And if I do that, then I will stamp it on white cardstock as well. And then I'll put my little title right there. You know what's funny about this stamp set, you guys? This going back to my very first stamp set, which was probably in 2020, like late 2020. Look at one of the stamps, says you do you. That one's been out there forever and a day. Okay, so now we'll stamp this little guy on here. So what, and it, not me. This is not where I'm going with this. It's not me. What's something that you appreciate? Even if you are stamping or not stamping, even if you are listing or not listing, if you were making a list about what you appreciate, what would be on your list? What do you appreciate? There's my little speech bubble. And you could say 2, 4, 6, 8. Right? Yeah, I'm a dork. I'm a dork. Okay. But because we sure makes you appreciate when you have a die. I mean, we won't do a die for this. But it sure makes you appreciate when you have a die instead of when you're back to the old-fashioned cutting, which still totally works, but just not quite as quick. Actually, it probably is as quick by the time you get the dies out and all that, but it's just much more fun and easier with a die. All right, here's our little speech bubble. I've cut out with my little fussy cutting scissors. And, I did the same thing there, you guys. I didn't let it dry. So it's got a little block on it. Oh, well. I usually am not, I'm usually not handling a stamp like that, right? I've usually just stamped it on something. I don't know. You guys know I don't do things crooked. I mean, intentionally crooked. So I think this is just going to have to go right here. He'll go like this. All right. So, things I appreciate. Oh my gosh, I forgot the A in about. About the Squirrel Squad. Things I appreciate about the Squirrel Squad. And then up here is just kind of our list. And we could do, you are great. Oh, let's do it. We have to have something up there at the top. We can't have it be all boring up there, right? You are great. Sounds like one of those little candy conversation hearts. You are great. Okay. Karen appreciates her tribe. I love that. Brenda appreciates full Sundays in the winter. We don't get a lot of those living in Michigan. Carol, her daughter, parents, friends. Denise, family and friends. Nancy, her husband. She had pumpkin colored hair. La 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 la. Shay, your granddaughter, you call her pumpkin because she has pumpkin colored hair. I understand that now. Amy said crafty friends make everything better. Yes, right? And guess what? Every single one of you has a crafty group of friends. Even if you're the only one that you know in person that crafts. Because guess what? These are all of our crafty friends, right? All of our crafty friends. All right. So now I think, let's just see if we want to work in, I don't know, we might work in the hearts here and there somewhere. Maybe we need those down there. And now I've created a little trapped white space. So what we'll end up doing, I just had a great idea. I know what bullets I'm going to use for this. We will use, there's a little heart on the stamp set as well. There's a little acorn. Look at little acorn bullets. There's heart. There's a little flower. There's circle, square, star, asterisk. So there's lots of fun little bullets on that stamp set as well. Very first stamp set that we did. All right. So, oh yes, this. My little glue pen. This is going to go right here. And then we are going to add a cute little, we're going to add a word strip right there. Word strip something or other. Okay. Come on. All right, there we go. I feel like we need one more. We need a little single heart, but not a red one, not a black one. Well, we'll just make it work. Okay, I need a word strip. So there's no sticker book in this collection. So we will go to our bin, my special container of word strip stickers here. These, don't even ask. These are so old. These are so old, there is no date on them. These are probably 8 or 9 years old. Okay, so let's look. We could put a little pink one in there. We could put in what about this one? Does Friends for Life fit in there? I think we could make that work. Friends for Life, maybe not. It works. It's a little bit too on top of that heart. The best works. The best. There we go. The best. You guys are the best. You're the best. You're the bestest. All right. So here we go. We are now ready to do our list, and I need a color. I think we'll go with not Kitsch Flamingo. Maybe Kitsch Flamingo? Maybe Kitsch Flamingo? Maybe. Let's look and see what we end up with here. Shay, health, right? Yes, that's the kind of thing that, when you don't have it, maybe picked raspberry or Kitsch Flamingo. When you don't have it or when you get ill, I think it's one of those things that we appreciate even more, right? Kitsch Flamingo. All right, Kitsch Flamingo. Okay. So let's look. This is kind of a little outlined stamp. So it's like a little double, kind of has a little double like that. Whoopsie. Like that. All right. So actually, before I do that, maybe we want to start up here with another one. How about this one? This would be cute. Well, maybe we'll do this one. Every day I love you. Because it's true. I do. All right. There we go. Okay. So now we are ready to start our list. These are the things I appreciate about you guys. And in no particular order. The sense of community. They're like my family, and I miss them when we're not together. And every single one of these things is true. So I wrote down community, second family, and then, we just kind of elaborate from there. I know, Louisa, the squirrel with the balloons is so cute, and that was, I love that suggestion, Cindy. It's just so cute, right? And it's totally different kind of list than I usually don't have title ever at the bottom, so it's fun to get out of our comfort zone sometimes. All right. Supportive. They are so incredibly supportive of not only my business, but me. Like personally, you guys are so supportive. It just, I mean, I don't know. It's a very interesting, Nick gets it, but when Nick, when Nick's somewhere and people ask him what his wife does, he's always like, oh, but it's kind of hard to explain, and it's kind of hard to explain the community. I mean, when some people say, wait a minute, you spend every Saturday like live, and then wait a minute, you don't like there's people don't have to pay, and you just like hang out and do whatever, and it's like, yes, absolutely, because it's like family, and it's supportive of me. Some of you probably have never ordered from me in your life, and that doesn't matter because you were supportive. You're here, you're commenting, you're in the chat, you're doing thumbs up, and you're just you guys are all just so supportive. Another one, you enable me to exist, right? I mean, and really that is from a business perspective, right? You enable me to exist, and you not only enable me to exist, but you guys also help to support, let's see, Lily and Denise work part-time for me. So you're helping to support two people. You are helping to support Amy. Amy works part-time for me. You're helping to support 1, 2, 3, 4, soon to be 5 different graphic designers that also work for me on a contract basis, just on a project basis. But so when you guys are here supporting me, you're also supporting so many other people, which I think is just a really cool thing, which I appreciate so much. Your friends, it's friendship. Most of you I have never met in person. And you know what? Most of you I probably will never meet in person, because some of you live in areas I will never go. Some of you live across the world. Not to say that I won't go out to Australia again, but to have friends, especially to have friends that we have things in common. We have mutual things in common because we all love to do this, or we all love to play and do art and things with our hands and document and journal or whatever. We all have a lot of friends. Not me, not just you. We all have a lot of friends because we're in this community, which, I think is just very cool. You guys are always there for me. You are honestly always there for me. They are always here for me. And when I mean here, I don't mean necessarily like here. I mean, you guys are, I've always said that I get so much more out of this than you guys say you do. Because this for me is fun and it's play. And when it is your business and your life, it's hard to separate the play from the work. It crosses lines all the time. But for me, when we're together doing this, it is purely play, and I get so much pleasure and enjoyment out of it because I don't ever let myself just play. And so you guys are here for that. You're always here. If you weren't here, if there was one person here, I would do it. But if no one was here, of course I wouldn't come and do this. I wouldn't give myself permission or time to play, right? Which we just need to do more, but we don't always do that. So another one, their positivity. So right? You are always so positive about what I do. It is very rare that someone is negative about what I do. And I say very rare, I mean it's very, very extremely rare. Their positivity. You just, I may not love something I do. You may not love it, but you'll always find something to say, you know what? I love that Kitsch Flamingo that you use. That's a really pretty color pink. That didn't have anything to do with me, but you're always just so positive about things, which is just, I just appreciate, because sometimes we need positivity and, well, okay, not sometimes. I don't know about you, but I can always use positivity on my life, right? All right. You are accepting of me. And that one is that's probably the one that will bring me like to tears. Because it is not easy if you've never been live and trying to entertain people and crafting at the same time and teaching and things like that. It's not easy. I mean, well, it is easy. It's easy for me because I'm just who I am. And when I'm live, it's a stream of consciousness. So I'm just saying what I would normally say and things are coming out. And sometimes it doesn't make any sense. And sometimes I get off track and I squirrel and I forget what I was saying. And, but you guys are always so accepting. You're so accepting of anything I do, even if I'm like on a rambling tangent like I am right now, right? You're just very accepting. And I know I'm not for everyone. Lord, do I know that. But that's okay, because you know what? There are lots of different things for lots of different people, which is what I think is one of the really cool things about YouTube is you can pretty much go find something, everybody can find something. I just may not be your cup of tea. All right. So that's what I had. I had stopped at accepting, and Nick said, oh my gosh, okay, what about all the gifts? And I'm like, well, I'm like, okay. So then the way I rephrased it was the gifts that you guys give me are your kind words, your emails, your cards, and the squirrels. Squirrels. I totally ran out of room. One of these days, I am going to, I need to do a video and show you all of the squirrels I have been given. And they are little squirrel earrings. Someone will send me a little sticker. Someone will, one lady sent me a little piece of paper that was like creative memories or something. And she said, hey, I had this in my stash and I thought of you. And it had little squirrels on it. Handmade ornaments. Some of you have made me the most incredible ornaments that are squirrels. Britta brought me a beautiful little wood squirrel ornament from Hungary. I mean, but it is all of those things. And none of them is more or less important than the other one because they all mean the world to me. The words, the emails, and your kindness. So that is, That's what I appreciate about you guys, because I probably, like a lot of people in life, sometimes, at least for me, you don't take the time to tell them how much you appreciate them. So I am doing that today on Squirrel Appreciation Day. That is a fun little holiday that works for us. That we're well, it happens every year, but usually what's happened is someone will post like in the morning of, "Hey, it's Squirrel Appreciation Day," and I'm like, "Oh, whoops! I really should know when that is." So last year when that happened, I put it in my calendar, and now I know. So now we can plan for it. So there we go. Super simple list, right? Totally easy. Just fun, cute list. Some don't have to take a long time. That one really didn't take a long time, right? So we'll do that little guy there, and then probably next week we'll do something on there that kind of is the same, maybe collection, just so two lists kind of go together. Oh, I love that. Kind of go together side by side. They don't have to. You don't have to have the left page match the right page, but we'll probably do something like that. So there we go. There is our second list. So thank you guys. Thank you. All right. Louisa, I love that. Louisa said, today I shared the concept of glimmers to my coworker. She's been working a lot, so I told her to find glimmers, i.e. lunch with her girls, right? Someone let you in to get on the freeway instead of speeding right past and not letting you in. Your flowers, so we talk about this on Saturdays. Your flowers that you bought from Trader Joe's a week ago Sunday on the 11th are still blooming. I bought them on the 11th and they are still gorgeous. Just little things like that, right? Just little things. All right. So we have our next live giveaway, okay? And I didn't even tell you it's coming. So whoever has been chatting, then I'm scrolling right now. So that one goes to Carol K. Carol K. So Carol, just in case you didn't see this, well, I showed it before, but you have that stamp that I've been using, Scattered Thoughts, Shiny Pumpkaboo. You have the Squirrel Squad sticker, and then you have the cute little enamel Scatter the Squirrel pin. So Carol, please shoot me an email, lailbymail@gmail.com. In the subject line of that email, please put squirrel, I can't even remember what I said before, squirrel prize. In the subject line, your name and address in the body of the email, and we will get that shipped out to you next week. So Carol K. and Karen C. Oh, isn't that interesting? KC and CK. Wow. All right. So that was our second list. Let me just get a couple of these things put away. And then we have our third list. Okay. Well, I'm going to start it. And it actually, this is a 2-pager, but it's one list we're doing this week, and then the other one we're doing next week. So we're just going to we'll get it started. We will get it started. We'll just leave all this giant mess so we don't have to clean it up for now. Okay. So this next list, this is a list that was suggested last year. So this will be the second time that we're doing this list. This is really the last list that we're doing to kind of wrap up 2024. This time of year, it's usually right after Christmas. So it's about 3 weeks, right after Christmas to about mid-January, where we are wrapping up 2024 and then looking forward into 2025. So this will be our last list as we're kind of wrapping up 2024. And it is top Google searches. So it was suggested last year. Let me see, because I always keep these things. Let's see if we can find it. Oh golly, I'm not even going to look at that because I had to take the pages out of the last book. Anyhow, it was suggested by someone last year, and we had a lot of fun with it last year. It was suggested by someone in 2023. So we are going to do this week top Google searches for 2024. I included a couple of different links to websites where you could go to find that information if you wanted to do this list. So that's what we'll do tonight. And then next time we're together, over here, we are going to do my most recent Google searches. So we've got top Google searches, and then you will do a list, or I will do a list of my most recent Google searches. So just kind of a fun, kind of compare and contrast type list. If I were to pull out my list right now from last year, I remember there are quite a few things that are the same in the top Google searches. So I am using for this one, I am using For the Record. Karen, I didn't know you had kids. Karen Haynes said, I appreciate my kids because they made me a mom. Oh, I love that. Or maybe I did. I don't know. Okay, so I have pulled these two papers out of For the Record. And what I am going to do, this guy is actually, now that I think about it, it's I'm setting it up very similar to that. So this one will be over here with my extra piece coming here, and then this one will be there. So then they're two separate lists, but they'll still kind of go together, right? Most popular items searched in 2024, and then mine. So what's interesting, if you want to do a list like this, I try to use the same website from year to year so that you're not comparing apples to oranges or bananas or, whatever, right? So that's what I have done. A couple of years ago, we were doing, like at the end of the year, prices of common items like rent and a new car and a median home price. And that just got really hard to do because it was really hard to find the same data from year to year to year. So we kind of stopped doing that one. Although what would be interesting, we're not getting political here at all, just stating a fact. What would be interesting is if I had back then on that list the price of eggs. The price of eggs has been like skyrocketing. And there are different reasons that people say, but one of the reasons that you hear is because of the bird flu. And so that would be interesting to go back and look at, if we put eggs on our list that year of the price of eggs and how much it has changed. But so kind of those types of, again, time capsules, because that's exactly what they are, right? They're little time capsules where you're taking a snapshot of data, really, in time, and then comparing it to next year or year prior or what have you. All right, and then we're going to do this little guy again. It's going to help bridge the left to the right. Okay, so I'm kind of doing, I have 2 pages started, right? I've got 2 pages started there. I've missed a bunch in the chat, friends. Hi, Anne from freezing Michigan, 8 below 0. Gosh, that's insane. That is crazy. Sharon, my almost 3-year-old grandson has discovered Google searches, and if his mom doesn't know how to say a dinosaur name, he will make her Google it. That is crazy. That is so fun. Now, Sharon, what I thought you were telling me at the beginning was that he would Google it. And I'm like, wow, that a 3-year-old knows how to Google? Although, I guess that's not that far-fetched, huh? That is fun. He just tells her to Google it. And then he can hear it, right? Because in some of them, you can, it will sound it out phonetically for you. Tyrannosaurus. All right. Well, Rex, I guess I don't know if there's other Tyrannosaurus besides the Rex. I don't know. All right. That's how you can tell that I get punchy. I'm now talking about Tyrannosaurus Rex, and there's other Tyrannosaurus Joe and Tyrannosaurus Bob, and I know there's not like that, but okay. So we need our white cardstock again for the base of our list. Oh, and look, they're even the height that we need them to be because we already cut it off before. So we'll do that guy there. Ooh. Oh yeah, we'll be okay. All right. So usually Even when I eyeball it, it usually ends up being somewhere between 3 3/4 and 4 by 7. 3 3/4 by 4 by 7, and that's an eyeball. So look at that. 3 3/4. That's just the eyeball. And then what are we here? A little bit over 7. So 7 1/4. That's my little guy. And it doesn't really matter what that size is. It's just that I want the size next to it to be fairly close, right? So what did we say? Well, we'll just do this. My brain is having to think too hard to do that. All right, and some of you, it's very late, right? You East Coasters, it's almost midnight, 11, almost 11. I can do math. I'm in the mountain time zone in Utah. All right. Where did my pen go? Not that pen, not that, oh, there it is. So we put it away. Nancy, there you go. Nancy said we should all just have our own chickens. Yes, you could, right? If you live in a place where you can have chickens, because like in our neighborhood, I don't think that you can have, well, we're in an HOA. I don't think you can have chickens. Yeah. All right. Sharon about our grandson, not yet, but I'm sure that will come so soon that he'll be Googling, right? All right. Googling is a verb. Okay. So there we are. Those will be our list for this week and then our list for next week. But remember when we were talking about earlier about working smarter, not harder? This is an example of that. If I know that really these are two different lists, but I also know that they're going to be side by side, I might as well kind of do them together. It will take me a lot less time if I do them together like this, kind of at least get them prepped together, as opposed to if I wait and do one now and then do all of that next time. Okay, so what was I thinking here? Where's my sketch? I had hello. So, oh yes, I remember. The hello is coming from here. There is a nice little title in here. This is the sticker book for the record that says hello. It's going to say, hello, Google. Amy, if you're still here. Amy, yes, I think you are. Now I know why in the idea book that I understand now. It's called Hello Google. I mean, it's called Hello Google, even though it's, never mind. Yeah, I think you know what I mean. But it was funny. I was like, wait a minute, what? And then I'm like, oh, I understand why Hello Google. Because we did this list last year. Well, it doesn't look like this, but a little bit. Whoopsie. All right, hello. And then for Google, we are going to use the orange letter scramble. So I am going to put Google right there. And with that, I am going to use my ruler. And I'm going to take each of these little letters and I am going to line them up on the horizontal line on my little metal ruler there. So by lining them up on a line, a straight line that already exists, that will help me to make sure that they are straight. So that's one of the reasons I'm using the ruler. And I will show you the other reason in a minute. So letter scramble stickers. These are a Bella Boulevard product. They come in, I want to say 16 different colors. I have all 16 colors. So you can buy them a sheet or you can buy the whole, all of them in a bundle, all the colors. And when you buy all of them in a bundle, you get a discount on them. So, you know, we use stamps a lot as we are working, right? Because, you know, I have stamps. I like to stamp. We use stamps a lot, and stamps are nice because they will never run out. As long as you take good care of them, you will always have the E. You will always have the orange E that you need as long as you have the orange ink. That's not necessarily the case with stickers, but stickers a lot of times can be a lot quicker and maybe even a little bit more versatile. So just depends. And I use both, but I thought on this one we do. So what I'm going to do, oh, here's my other thing with the ruler. It just comes second nature. So I have lined them up so they're straight, but when they're on the ruler, now they're floating. I can decide wherever I want to put them on my list. If I think I want to put them maybe here, I kind of like how that's a little bit overlapping my title. So I can do that, and then I can move that kind of left to right to make sure I'm centered-ish. All right, so once I'm done, and I'm like, that's where I want them to go, I press down firmly, and then I gently roll that ruler out from underneath, and then I want to really press down hard on those. Even if I want to, like, you know, put something on top and press down. Because these letters are pretty narrow, they don't have as much surface area with the stick on them, if that makes sense. So as long as I am pressing down really hard before then I move on, I find I don't have any issues with them. Some of you have said, hey, my stickers don't stick, and I always make sure to tell you, hey, make sure you're really pressing down. And it's really not necessarily these stickers. It would be any stickers that are narrow, right? Because they don't have as much stick. They don't have as much room for stick, if you know what I mean. All right, so then, do we want to do that? Oh, do I have my pencil out still? Let me excuse my reach. Oh, there it is. Pardon my reach. So I can do it with a pencil to see if I would like the way that it looks first. Like that. So we did 2 live giveaways of those little scatter pouches with fun things in them. Oh yeah, I will like that. But there's also another one of those pouches with the goodies inside for the after party. So the after party is when the video is over, you have until we are listing again, which would be Wednesday, next Wednesday, the 29th, because I'm out of town this weekend, to leave a comment on the video. So leave a comment on the video, and when it's over, and then right before we start next Wednesday, I will draw one random lucky winner to win that 3rd pouch. So before I get too far, I do need something down here at the bottom, because really my title isn't there. Unless I do, I could just do this. Top searches of 2024. There we go. That works. Okay. Now, I looked at this list earlier of what I did last year. And so I thought, well, I might as well just do the same thing again, right? I had a little separator. Oh, I know what I need to do. I was trying to, did you see me? I wanted to make sure that was centered. I am going to grab, there's the big one. Where's the little guy? It was so funny. I've had these 0 centering rulers forever on the website. And maybe last Wednesday, I think, when I was doing What's New Wednesday, somebody asked about a measurement, and I pulled one of these out, and everyone's like, whoa, 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 hold on. What is that? So what I want to do, I want to know the center of this little white piece. What I could do is come in here and go, oh, look it, that's 3.5 plus a whole bunch of little tick marks, right? I don't do that kind of math. This is called a 0 centering ruler. They come in 2 sizes. They don't have color on them. They're just etched, and then you can add color by just taking a little bit of acrylic paint and dry finger painting on, and then dry wiping. But basically, it's a regular ruler on the top, 0 through 6. But on the bottom, when you notice, there's a 0 in the center. And you go 0 to 3 left and 0 to 3 right. So the 0 centering, the way that works, we're working with the bottom part of the ruler that has the 0. And what I want to do is I get the 0 kind of in the center-ish, And then I just match up the numbers on either side. So I'm over here at 1 3/4. Oh, but I'm too far over here. I'm at like 1 15/16. So we just kind of move it a little bit. That is 1 7/8. That is 1 3/4. No, more. 13/16. There we go. So I have 1 13/16 over here, 1 13/16 over here, which tells me that is dead center. So if you're measuring something, trying to find the center of something that is, 4 inches or 6 inches or even like 5.5 inches, that's easy. But as soon as you start bringing in these weird 16ths and 30 seconds and things like that, that's when my head starts spinning. So no. If you want to find the center, and you don't want to just eyeball it, because, of course you could eyeball it if you wanted, but all right, let's try that. Okay, so I don't even know how many things I wrote down. I wrote down a whole bunch of things in the order, and so we're just going to do this. That was last week. No, that is this. That is today. Where are they? Oh, here they are. Okay, I was looking for them to be numbered. So the number one, and this was the same for last year, the number one Googled term is YouTube. The second one is Amazon. Number 3 is Facebook. Number 4 is weather. Number 5 is Google, which I don't understand that, but number 6 is Wordle, right? You know, the Wordle game. So what's interesting about this, when you do a list like this, like the top Google searches of 2024, this is very much a time capsule. Think back 20 years ago. Was Google? I think Google was still there 20 years ago, but probably just barely. So you'd be like Wordle, Facebook. What else do I have? Google Translate. I mean, they're just things that would be on the list that they didn't even exist, right? So kind of a cool time capsule. So we did Google Translate. You ever use Google Translate? And then the next one is Translate. Home Depot. So this list I pulled from one of the 2 links that I included on the blog for our listing session tonight. The other link that was there, Google every year does a top Google searches, but they break it down by category, by like sports and entertainment. And so it's really narrowing down into, like, if you look at sports, maybe Kansas City Chiefs, or I don't know, whatever. Soccer, football, not soccer, football. All right. Home Depot, NFL. It'd be interesting. I'll have to later go back and look and see how this list compares to the one before. Walmart, Yahoo, eBay, Instagram, NBA, Yahoo Mail. Oh, I think I was going to leave a little space down there for a word strip. Oh well. Let's keep going. 17, Yahoo Mail, Amazon Prime. That's definitely something, right? Like 20 years ago. Be like, Amazon what? CNN. I can't see my list now. Where did I go? ESPN. This one I don't remember seeing before. Food Near Me. Sometimes when we're traveling, I put that in, food near me or gas near me, right? Gas near me, food near me. If you're somewhere you don't know, Google Maps. Target, Twitter. So what's interesting, someone I don't remember, oh, Nancy, because your comment's still up. Nancy said, I don't Google that much, but I YouTube a lot. So you know what would be interesting? I bet if you Googled most common things searched on YouTube, I bet there's a similar list, which would be kind of cool, right? All right, Twitter, calculator. Here's one that a couple of years ago we wouldn't even known, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you can tell ChatGPT, write a paper for me with 5 paragraphs about why the butterflies didn't fly south for the winter in 2023, right? And it will do a full-on persuasive essay based on the 5 paragraphs and the introduction and the summary and that whole thing. It's kind of cool, but kind of scary. Costco. Google Flights, I think. I didn't even know that was a thing. This one was funny. Indeed. And Indeed, when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, there's like a jingle or a commercial or something. And I'm like, when it says Indeed, then I'm like, I don't have no clue what that is. I have no clue what Indeed even is, but I know the commercial and I know like the intonation when it says Indeed. I have no clue what it is. USPS tracking. And I'm just adding enough till my list fills up. Maybe we'll do 30. And then Zillow. All right, so if we did that, now I just mean like one little thing to go there. So let's see what we might have in a sticker. I know I don't want to use this as real life because, oh, I know what I was going to do. I have a little sketch here that tells me. I want to use this as real life here. Well, in fact, guess what? I might as well do that now because I knew I wanted to do that. So this will be for my other page. These are like real life. Now this is what people are searching for. This is what I'm searching for. Okay. I was going to put just the highlights. Oh, okay. So where's that? Oh, here we go. Just the highlights. Ooh, can we fit that? I don't know. We'll see. It might be a little large. It is a little large. So, all right, we're going to make this work. We're going to put this guy here like that. Well, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut part of this off because clearly I wasn't looking at my sketch from the beginning. I started there with just the highlights. So that's all right. We're going to do this. We'll just do a little Franken, I don't know. We're cutting our sticker. Oh, look at there. That did it. It's exactly what we needed. It fits perfectly. All right. So there we go. That is our list of the top Google searches for 2024. Next week when we're together, we will pair that with my or your, if you did this list, or you may not do this list, but maybe you decide you want to do this list. And this list is your most recent Google searches. All right, your most recent Google searches. All right, friends, I am going to, hey, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We did 3 lists in 3 hours and 15 minutes, and we even did that cute little pocket at the beginning. Hey, we were pretty productive. This one I did very quickly, didn't I? So, hello Google, our top searches of 2024. Things I appreciate about the Squirrel Squad in honor of Squirrel Appreciation Day, and then things I'm looking forward to this winter. Oh, and then this guy too. We kind of did, I started. We'll do some work there. I don't know what I want to do there yet, but thought that might be a fun way to start. Okay, friends. let me just kind of move these lights a little bit so I'm not like deer in the headlights when I rotate them and spin them. I am going to flip the camera and do that. And there we go. All right, friends, thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. We did 2 fun live giveaways. There is another giveaway, an after party giveaway. So just make a note or stick around for 2 minutes. As soon as I'm done and the video is up, the recording, go ahead and leave a comment on that video. And I will, before we're together again next Wednesday, before we start, I will draw one of those comments, random lucky winner from there to win one of those little pouches again. So we are not listing together this Saturday. This Saturday is the 25th. I will be out of town. I am also out of town the next Saturday, that first weekend in February. So make sure you double check the schedule. It is linked here in the description box of the video. You'll find it on the blog and the Facebook page, Facebook group, so you know what the schedule is. But we will be listing again on the 29th of January. And then we're bouncing all over in February because I'm traveling a lot. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for helping me celebrate national, I keep wanting to say national, for helping me celebrate Squirrel Appreciation Day because I just appreciate you guys so much. I hope you know that. I know it's like one of those, like you take people in your life for granted. I don't tell you enough how much I appreciate you. So we don't need a day for me to tell you that, but might as well take advantage of the day to do that. Hope you have a wonderful, lovely rest of your evening and a great rest of the week. If you're hanging around tomorrow night, tomorrow is What's New Wednesday. That is the 22nd of January, so we'll be here again at 6:30 p.m. where I will show you some fun new things that have come out since, I don't know, since maybe you last saw. Take care, you guys. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.